Hello and happy Sunday, all. How goes it? Per the usual, what was to be basically just a, like, I'm not sure what I want to do, immediately turns into me and Doc playing. It's kind of just the way we always plan. But it's going to be good. I hope that everyone is having a good weekend. If I have not seen you, hello, hello. Okay. All right. We won't spend too long. We won't spend too long at our starts because we just want to get cracking. I'm literally going to open Phasmo right now. Music's overpowering. How about now? It should be good now. Off work early. Great success. Hey, let's go. Welcome in, friends. Good to see you. Knight, thank you for the 33 months. Relentless, thank you for the 15-month prime. Much better. Okay. Is this too much? Is this too much sauce? Or is this okay when we're not having too much conversation?
Welcome back.
Do I do playing with viewer streams? I do. I did one 2 streams ago. Yeah. Hey, Lunix, good to see you. Hello, hello. Hey, what's up, Zelda? All right, let's get cracking. I'm just, look, he's done his game, so I'm going to go ahead and do the things. I'm going to go ahead and do the things. Unless he wants me to join him, but I'm okay with him joining me. And we'll explain what's happening today. I think there's going to be some stuff that we're just kind of figuring out as we go. Yeah. Hey, Logix. Totally random. Hello, how are you? Totally random, sorry. Chicken wings and flat. Oh my god. We're getting a blood moon today. I mean, we are playing with Doc. The chances of a blood moon exponentially go up. This is true. Yeah, thank you for the 3 months. Hello. Why is the game not showing? Hello? Hello? He created a lobby? All right, I'll join him. I'll join him. I'm on it. He tied to a shade. Stupid shade. Stop killing my friends. It deserves to be dead. Is that too harsh? Mama Bear, thank you for the biddies. Oh god. That was aggressive.
Well.
Jesus. Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How's it going?
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
FlashForce, are you ready for a not challenge? Are you ready to not challenge yourself?
I'm ready to not be challenged by the not challenge.
Well, that's good, Flash. Just to let you know, I did get an opportunity to get one practice game in, and I died to a shade.
So this is going to not go well.
This is not going to be. This is not going to be great. All right, I am not going to include my equipment.
Okay,
because,
I will add mine. I got you.
Look at all that equipment you get. Prestige.
Look at all that equipment.
Man, it seems. Yeah. Prestiging in the moment seems like such a good idea, and then you realize, wow, everything sucks.
Oh,
yeah. Crap
Got
indeed.
nice crap sandwich right there. Doc loves a crap sandwich.
I love a crap sandwich. I've been known every now and again to dabble.
Hi, friends. Welcome
in the crap sandwich. Either that or a good and cheese. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So with this, why don't you explain what our plan is?
All right, everybody. So here's the deal. Today we're doing the Not Challenge Challenge. And in the Not Challenge Challenge, I have, in Firebot, a command that plays a sound at random from a list of approximately 20 sounds. And each sound is an ominous voice saying, you may not use a motion sensor, or you may not use a flashlight, or you may not use a tripod. Yeah. It's true. It's true. So,
Okay.
so I figure the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna start with one, and then each time we succeed, should it be each time we succeed it adds another, and then we reset when we die, or should it be?
I think that's the way. We start with one, and then if we succeed on the next round, we do two, and then.
Okay. Okay, got it. All right, so I will now have one of my mods. Wait, hold on. This needs something.
And then you just, whatever it is, you just let us know what it is after it's done. You'll tell us. I have an idea.
We just got hit with the first one. We may not use a parabolics microphone.
Oh no! What will we do? Do
So
we do
that's
random?
not too bad.
Do we do random maps?
Oh my God,
I
Flash.
think we have to.
This not challenge is turning kind of challenging. All right, fine,
We
have
cannot
to.
pick what map we're on. It has to be random.
So, yeah. So, oh my God, I should totally make that one. You may not choose the map. Oh, smart. Look at you with the brain cells.
Look at the brains on
today.
bread.
Big brains on bread. Right.
Thank you guys for the
All right,
subs and the videos. Thank you so much. I'm trying not to
other
overstep
question.
this
Do we want to
talking.
play these on Nightmare, or do we want to do them on Professional? Does
on
it make more sense to do
Professionals?
Professional?
I think it probably would, because oh man, we're
Okay.
really gonna hurt ourselves if we're doing Nightmare and it's like, okay, it's hiding one piece of
Yeah.
evidence and we also can't get the other one.
Yeah, we'll put it on Professional for this challenge.
Yeah,
There
let's
we go.
let's start with that. Hey Kirst, how are you?
All right, sounds good
Avery,
to me. Well, we may not use. Oh, sorry.
We may not use a parabolics microphone.
Thank you. So my
Nice.
thought of that, what I was going to do, I was thinking in my head, I was thinking edit brain. I'm like, okay, what could I do? Do you remember a board game that was also like had a VHS tape attached to it that was called Nightmare?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes, I do.
So I had this thought in my brain of like, if I make this a video or something, what could I do for the edit? And I'm like, oh, I have an idea. What about I'll go to Doc Stream and pull whatever it said we can't use, and I'll like find some way to make an image that's like your face, but like with a hood and you can't see the eyes, and it does the voice over top, and then the thing appears on the screen all
Oh
wavy.
my God.
I was like, oh, this could
That
be
would
great.
be so intense. That'd be so intense. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. In that case, we may have to redo our first equipment, because I think we were talking over it, and we want quiet for it, right? So we can actually hear it. So hold
Yeah.
on. Ray-Van, wait until I say go, and then we'll go.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. So, and the problem is there's so many sounds on this channel. We'll be lucky if we get a clean edit here. But all right. Ray-Van, go.
I have another idea of how to fix this problem. I have an idea.
Okay, we may not use a thermometer. So
Okay.
that's the first thing.
Okay.
It is actually phrased as a thermometer.
Thermometer.
So-
Okay. Roger that. Also,
All right.
by the way, side note, I think I have a way to solve the sound problem, so we don't have to worry about hindering the stream to make it so you get a clean sound. If you just send me all the sounds you have, I could use that sound.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yes!
Then you don't have to worry about
Smart.
like talking over it. We won't hurt anything. You can do what you got to do, all the sounds and stuff.
Big
Your
brain
moment.
on bread.
Big
Again!
brain on bread.
Somebody ate his Wheaties today. I like it. I like
I
it.
didn't have breakfast.
Oh, well, can't be your best without a good breakfast.
Thank you guys for the subs and the biddies. Thank you guys so freaking much, man. All right.
Well,
No, your monitor.
Here we go. No
Oh,
thermometer
so
for
side
Jan.
note, because we're in your lobby and you just prestiged, we're gonna have a little mixed match of tier items here, which I'm okay with.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, after this, do you want
It
me to
adds
join
color.
you instead? So we,
I'm fine with this as long as you're cool with it.
uh,
If you'd rather have all threes, then that's totally fine with me.
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing I'm thinking about. All right, so let's say I'm me and you're you,
Okay, I like this.
which I think is reasonable.
Fair.
Okay, so let's say your thermometer wasn't one of the things that we weren't allowed to do.
Okay.
And then I come over here and I'm like, all right, I want to find ghost temperatures. And I go, and then FlashForce just goes, yoink.
Well, I think,
and then you see what?
no,
you see what's
I
left
think
there?
what we
It's-
do. See, I think what we do is we have a nice discussion of like, hey, which one would you want to use? And like, I would be willing to go in with the tier 1. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all.
All right.
Yeah,
That's very generous of you. I do
course.
appreciate it.
of course.
Okay.
Do you hear the
Well,
sound
let's
just
talk to Jan
changed?
Elliott
Do you
here.
hear that?
Case 913, Jan Elliott. Capture 2 unique paranormal sounds with a sound recorder. Get the ghost of blood, a firelight, and capture a photo of the ghost.
A photo.
Photo.
All right.
Moto.
Well,
Okay.
Sunny Meadows restricted.
So
This is going to
I
be
tell
fun.
you what we're gonna do then. We're just going. We can't use these, so they go to the corner.
Yeah. Oh, we're just going to throw them.
We're just
in the
gonna
corner.
get them out of there.
Naughty.
No temptations. Bad.
Bad. Bad.
It's true. We did get restricted.
will-
We didn't get full, Sunny. So that'll be a little bit easier, I suppose.
Yeah, this is going to be great. This is going to be fine.
It'll be fine.
We're going to freaking die.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad that we have this attitude where we've gotten the
All
freaking.
right, that
billion.
is fair. No. You're right. Wow, this is going to be amazing.
It's gonna be the best ever. Look at the big. Baslin, thank you for the gifted. All right. Check, please. That's enough.
Okay. That whole last word thing, like with your kids.
I wonder where the bone's gonna be.
I don't want to mow the lawn.
I don't want to mow the lawn.
Fine.
Oh,
Fine.
crap.
Oh. Happy cards of happiness.
Happy cards of happiness. That's the new name for these.
Well, it makes it less ominous than the cards that are most certainly going to end up killing me. I prefer happy cards of happiness.
Okay, well that's fair. It does make it sound a little nicer to pull them.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
I like it.
When do we? So we're not ready to pull anything yet.
No, phrasing. We
Yeah.
are. So we have the middle. It appears. I wonder if the
Okay.
juice is here. Oh, hey, look, the juice.
All right. I'm just gonna follow you around, completely terrified. I saw your breath in there for a second.
What?
Is it snowing? I saw your breath right in here. Your breath is breathing.
Yeah, that's funny because we have orbs
which
in
I'm
there.
Grateful for. Oh my God! I
Good
found
catch.
the ghost.
You following?
Let's go.
You following made us find it. I didn't see my breath. I'll take it.
I'm here. I'm just observing. I'm observing you to make sure that you're doing a good job.
Thank you. Did I do it, Dad?
Great.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna put my flashlight like this. And I'll grab another one. Hey, food. How are you? Hello. The breath is breathing. Get breathed on, nerd. That's right. What am I doing with this? That's not useful right now. Sub, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you. Relentless, thank you for the biddies. Hooligan, thank you for the 11 months. I'm sorry, friends. We're going to get so sidetracked today. We're going to try our best. Hi, Carrie.
Okay,
Right, so
know
you
your
seen
monitors.
the breath. We know that we have orbicals.
Yes.
You know what's funny? We can't
What's
check
funny?
for that.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
Which is
Okay.
fine.
It is
It's
fine.
gonna
We
be
treat it like
great.
a nightmare run.
Yeah. Nightmare.
Why?
I don't know what that
Like,
was.
I
That
don't
was
know, that was
constipation,
like
I
I
think.
just had hot sauce sound.
Yeah.
Kev! All right, we'll be fine. No stress, no mess, okay?
Never.
Never. Ever.
Get back together.
Watch it be a mimic. I mean, it could be. We just can't check for mimicry because we can't check for freezing. Yeah, Kev, thank you for the biddies, dude. All right, I did bring things for UVs. You do your thing and I'll do my thing.
Where are you? Why is the door doing that?
It's not doing anything for me.
It's doing things for me. It's vibrating. I
Here,
have a vibrating door.
I got it.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
I got it.
Where are you? Capmeister, thank you.
You good?
Where are you? Are you near?
I think it's there.
Can you give us a sign? How old are you? Why are you like this? Do you like origami?
It just blew out one of the candles inside of the chapel. Do you hear that?
Where are you?
Hey, Bee Sting.
Can you read happy poetry?
Can you read happy poetry? Happy cards, happy poetry. There's a lot of happiness around here. All right, I see no UV.
Yeah. I see no UV either. So right now our evidence is ghost orb. Okay.
Yes, orb is all we have.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get something so I can protect myself
Protection?
from
I
death.
think that's a fantastic idea. We should do that. Can it blow out the chapel across the map? No, it's not across the map. It's literally just on the other side of the wall. That's why I was able to do that. He can only read sad poetry? All right, we'll talk about it. Kenzie, thank you for the 4 months. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, my Lanta. Food Blizzard, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm fairly certain they did not because I have a friend who literally lives there and is streaming it right now. Yeah. All right, 64%. That's adorable. I'm going to grab a smudge. Okay, so sidebar, actually, I guess we need to talk about this. My vote is that as long as we can, we have to get the ghost, figure out the ghost, and get the objectives, the side objectives.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
perfect games. We're not worried about that stuffs.
So ghost and objectives.
That's my, rather than just, oh, we got the ghost, get out of here. We have to try to get the objectives if we can.
All right, you got to remind me of that because my philosophy is almost always.
I got the ghost.
I know the ghost. I'm getting
get the
out of
heck
here.
out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Roger that.
Okay, that sounds great to me.
What is the
So
not
if you
challenge?
could
Do
go ahead
exclamation
and
point not.
Do everything.
Oh, wow, dude. All right. I'll get the sounds though. I will do sounds. Bam, 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 bam. Well, that's one of the tags. What? It is one of the tags. I definitely removed that like 2 streams ago. All right, I fixed it. Thank you. Do you both have to live? See, that's the pickle. I don't know if we do because I don't want him to get. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go to the van. I'm gonna check for ghost patterns.
Okay. Okay. But you can't view it. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, seeing as how the developer is literally from there. Oh, you suck.
Oh, writing in our ghost book.
Ooh, I didn't even see that.
Look at that. So it's a mayor, a revenant.
Okay, what is going on?
What do you mean?
Oh, I got it.
That's a
Okay.
wall.
I recorded a sound in that wall. It was fire extinguished? What? Oh my god. I quit.
What?
I need you to delete a sound, please.
Oh,
No, I've already got a fire extinguisher. Apparently, I guess it was blowing out the candles in the chapel and it was counting as fire extinguish. Hogwash.
okay.
What are the chances of pulling hyperesis? I don't remember the
Are
percentage.
you closing the door?
That, I scooched it. I gave it a scooch.
Okay, little scooch. It's doing the vibrating thing again.
Okay, you're gonna have to touch it. I can't.
All right.
Oh, okay. Oh, God, Doc. You
You're doing fine.
You blocked me in. All right. There we go. You moved me with the door.
You move me just with your presence, FlashForce. The door's doing the thing again.
I agree, Ghost. Help.
I am not doing that. Are you doing that?
No, I'm not. I'm over there. How am I doing it?
I don't know. You could do crazy door things in Tanglewood.
Is that better? I don't.
Look,
All right.
It's honestly, for you on your stream, it's not just randomly like moving, like opening and closing.
Negative. Dots, freezing, or spirit box. Oh boy. If
Okay.
it's freezing, it's
We
a
got a
revy.
problem.
Yeah, it's definitely not an okay thing. Where?
All right, door is dooring again. Door is dooring.
Where are you? Are you here? Are you near?
Yes,
Are you
I'm right
close?
outside the door. Yep, very close.
Okay, just checking, just making sure.
Okay.
All right. So what if we hold on? Do we have all the objectives? Oh, we need a photo of the ghost. Do you have a photo camera?
I have a smudge.
I'm gonna buy us time. Okay, I smudged it. I'm gonna go get a photo camera.
All right. Be careful.
Okay.
It's weird. Yeah, the door is like gradually opening and closing on my stream, but not on yours.
No, not on mine. No. Hey, really? How are you? And hey, what's up, Fred? Oh, God damn it. All right, I'm going to grab this extra smudge. And do I want the other crucifix? Thank you. Break. All right. Really, I mean, we're not getting spirit box. It's not giving us dots. I really feel like it's freezing and we unfortunately can't check for it. So, yeah.
So you're saying
What's
go
that
in there and
farting
mess
noise?
with the
It's a
cards.
farting noise. Wait, what? Oh,
So
the
you're
cards.
saying go in there and mess with the cards.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I could grab a crucifix to protect us. Yeah.
I like being protected.
Okay. No, we're doing this on pro for the not challenge. If you're confused what we're doing a challenge where every round we have to ban another item. If we succeed, we stack it. So the next one would be 2 and the next would be 3 items. Okay. Maybe we grab the cards and do that here?
Yeah, this looks like a good spot.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna preload a smudge by the piano.
All right, I like
Piano
it.
Preloaded smudge.
We just started, Taco. Pre-smudge. It just ate that other crucifix. Game on. Wheel of Fortune red. Goodbye, Sanatai.
The tower, blue.
Chocolate bleu. Tower.
Blue.
Bleu.
Okay. High priestess, purple, foolish.
Tower. This sucks.
The tower, blue.
Gosh dang it.
Is it a tower? Is it a
Oh
tower?
my God, it's a tower.
Let's go! Okay, all right.
No, let's go.
Oh, high priestess. Ooh!
Was it
Legit
real?
High priestess. It is real.
Oh my God. If you're fooling me, I'm going to be a little upset, okay? It's hunting, by the way. Do I try to get a photo of a Revy? I'm going to fail, but I could try.
Wait, you're sure it's a Revy?
Listen to the speed. I'm fairly certain. Here we go. Photo of the ghost time. Ka-chow. I missed. Damn it. I tried.
Wait, was that real or was that you doing your thing that you do?
Oh, I'm alive. I can't see.
Oh, we forgot already. We had a princess. We forgot. All right.
Doc, come here. There's my smudge. There's that. Wait, hold on. Oh, I found it. Okay. Okay. There we go. So, so I failed. I tried to get that photo. It did not work.
Okay, so it's very Revy, you're saying?
Oh, it's very, very Revy. Yeah.
Very Revy. Why do you sound different to me? Like you sound like your voice is coming from the ceiling.
It's hunting. I found it. I have my lighter. I have to go outside and go back in.
Don't be afraid, I'll keep you safe. Shh, FlashForce. Okay. All right, okay, you can... Why? What?
Okay. I think it's done.
Okay.
We don't choose what's being banned. It's not like, oh, what should we ban this
So
time?
if we're
It's
saying
random.
it's Revy, what other things do we need to get? What are the side
photo of
objectives
it.
that are left? Oh my God. All right. You know what, Flash?
What if we
Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
Where's the camera?
Right here.
All right.
We have cards still.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take this back. Whose pull was it?
Me.
High Priestess, High Priestess,
there's
High
all my
Priestess, High
sanity.
Priestess. Okay. Last card. Yes.
Tower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. At this point, do we take the crucifix and go stand in the room and wait for it to event?
I guess. All right, I got the crucifix.
Why not a mimic? Because we have writing.
Can I borrow your flashlight? Because I can't see.
Oh, the one on the ground? Yeah, that's yours. Yeah, take it.
All right.
Can we remove the tower card? I would not be upset. All right, it's event time. I'm going to turn on the light in the hallway. 3 streams in 2 days? I know. You guys pull a High Priestess. Does the group get 1 extra life? Yes. The whole group does, for sure. Murky Mist, they give it the 3 months. Next, they give it the
You won't
biddies.
event. Only the cool ghosts event.
Yeah, nerd.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
He's
well,
offended. Hey, Large, I'm good. How are you? Did you hear correctly? Well, if you look at the title, that would probably help you. I'm doing good, filled with lead. How are you? Not a single event, by the way. Just side note. Oh, no, you know what? We did have an event. It was very early, though.
very early event. Very early event.
Very, very early.
And now it's, yeah, and it was also wiggling the door ominously.
Yeah. This is very, very unfortunate. I'm going to
This doesn't seem to
smudge.
be going so well for us.
That just bought us 90 seconds. We pulled all the cards. I mean, I don't know what,
right.
to do beyond that.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let it hunt us. You're gonna
Okay.
take the picture. I'm going to smudge.
Okay.
And then you're gonna have the backup smudge. Wait, what? Do we have other objectives we need to do though? I lost track of existence.
We just need to get a photo of the ghost.
Okay.
Maybe the cards could have been. We literally pulled every card. There was no devil card.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be the plan.
Okay.
think.
I have a timer going, so I can see how long we have. We have like 50 seconds before it tries to murder us. Is there a method? Yeah, it's random, but it's
Okay.
from his stream.
Listen, in these last 30 seconds that we have, I just want to say
Okay.
I appreciate your friendship.
Okay. I appreciate yours too.
And listen, I'm not going to let you die.
Okay.
No.
I trust you. You're not going to let me
Wait,
die.
let me check if I have a lighter first. Okay, yeah, I have a lighter. All right, I'm not going to let you die.
All right, we should move our way to the chapel and maybe try to get it to do it over there.
All right, move into the chapel.
Okay, because I figure what we'll
Moving
do
into the chapel.
when we're not going to get murdered.
Gonna
Oh.
get hunted.
What if we did it just hit the power? Whatever. So what if we like coax it over here with our walkie and then we run back here, try to get the photo
Okay.
and smudge, and then go hide in that corner.
Wait, that was a lot of steps. Like, here, pretend you're talking to a third grader.
Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to get it to come into the chapel so that we can try to do the photo and smudge over here. So we can
Okay.
run to the hiding spot.
I think the paste is yummy. All right.
What school did you go to? What the hell? Deadshot, think of it 30 months.
Oh, it's doing a thing.
Oh. Ready to run. Run, Doc, run. Run, run, run. This way. Run. Get ready to smudge, Doc. Keep, go, run. tell me you don't think that I had that. So I'm going to call hacks. Did not get it. Now we just have to hope for an event.
Wait, we didn't get it?
No. I have a sweet picture of you, though. I mean, really what we could do if we... We're close enough, like here.
Where I can barely hear your voice. Do we need to go out the front door? And
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about the coming back to life thingy.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it this way. I had it. That was garbage. All right, there we go. Oh. There's no hiding here. It's coming this way.
Where are you going?
It's not a Rev, it's a Phantom. You must have a lot of hours in this game. I had that pick. You saw the flash of light. You saw him and the ghost. That's garbage. Absolute garbage. A sacrifice? No. We will not do that. It is not necessary. We're going to get this. I'm checking to see when it's done.
Wait, what?
I'm checking the switch to see when it's done hunting.
It's not done hunting? Oh, I hear it.
Shh. Okay, it's done. God damn. Okay. We are close enough right here for an event. Uh-oh. Hey, Doc. I wouldn't go with the chapel if I were you.
Okay, avoiding chapel.
It's cold in the chapel.
Oh. Perhaps Barry in maintenance can do something about that. If he's still alive.
Oh, it's hunting, though. Why don't go in the chapel? It was cold, like the ghost was in there. Is it not in the chapel?
I don't know.
Oh, it's coming. Come. Here, snuggle me.
I don't feel secure. It's on my foot.
Okay. It sounded far away, like it might not actually be in the chapel. Why item is banned? Wait, what? Oh, what item is banned? The thermometer.
So,
This is this is proving to be more difficult.
yeah, I'm not sure what we adding in the objectives is.
I know.
adding a
We don't
layer of
have to.
intensity.
We don't have to. It was just a thought, just to make it a little harder. And obviously it's working.
Yeah, it is, and we like a challenge.
One event the entire time
Yeah.
is a little ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does not give us much of an opportunity to have fun.
No, it does not. Okay.
All right, wait.
Yeah.
So should we make it so if one of us survives,
You know,
then
so
it counts, or
that was the next question. The next question was, do both of us have to survive?
so here's the thing. If one of us survive,
Yeah.
then
I think if one of us survives, we're good. Because I think both of us, if I die because of something I did, then you're being punished for it. It doesn't sound very fair.
All right, so we'll do a one of us survives.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So
that's all we need.
One of us leaves by closing the door, and then we're good.
All right, so in that
This
case,
ghost
one of
sucks.
us needs to sacrifice ourselves, basically, to get this ghost photo to
We're
get
not-
that third objective.
We're not gonna. It's not gonna work. You know what? You know what?
What do you
though?
mean? If it hunts and I take a picture,
Okay.
right?
All right. I believe in you.
What? Why did you say it like, okay,
I mean,
No, it's fine, Flash. I got it. It's fine. It's fine.
it's fine. We'll watch. Are you gonna do this in the chapel?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I got it. It's fine.
Let's see if he gets it.
Can you see me? I'm in the chat.
Yes, I can, sir.
I'm not fine.
I can no longer see you.
Hey, come here.
Just do it by the wall near the cross.
By the wall. There are like 100 crosses in this
The
place.
really big one.
Oh.
Oh wait, hold on. The first time I've ever used the zoom for something purposeful. You guys think he got it? All right, this is the reveal. The reveal is behind me. You know what? It's the effort. That's what matters. He did not get it. What did his photo look like? It's just black. Okay. I can't. I can't. All right. Make sure you got Remy. Listen, the ghost literally evented a single time out of that entire HUD. That was kind of ridiculous. One time? That's preposterous. That's stupid.
Welcome back.
One event is just dumb.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Not only did I take 3 pictures that weren't the ghost, I took 3 pictures that were just complete darkness.
That's what I saw too.
There was
Okay. I was like,
nothing.
they're all just straight black. I can't see anything.
There was nothing in the pictures whatsoever. I am terrible at this game. All right.
All
Awesome.
right. Well, that was a great start. We're doing good. Okay. Well, we
Yes.
we did leave. One of us got out with the correct ghost. So would we call that a success?
You know what? I'm thinking we should do one again. I think we keep the objectives in.
Okay.
Okay. Keep the objectives in.
And try
one
to
of
do
us
that
survives.
again. Okay.
Yes, and that's how it progresses.
Okay. I like it. That was a practice. That was a
All
warm
right.
up. That was a warm up.
Practice, warm up round. Yeah, that because we need those. All right. Raven, do the thing.
Forgot to turn the flash on. Damn it.
Hey.
Why you say it like that?
Hey.
Did you? Okay.
You know-
just quick, before you say anything, it's not flashlights, is it?
Oh no. We're fine. We can use flashlights.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
what is
yeah,
it?
Yeah,
What is it?
Yeah. So, you know how some equipment in this game is dependent on other equipment in order to function properly?
Does this item by chance render multiple items useless?
Okay. Let's put it this way.
Do we not get lighters?
Nothing's
Do we
going
not
to get lit on
lighters?
fire by accident. Nothing's going to get lit on fire by accident.
Oh,
so we're good.
man.
We are in no trouble from flame. Oh. This is awesome.
So no igniters.
Yeah, no igniters. So, well, here we go. This is
All right.
going to be awesome.
I mean, what I could do is hold on. Give me a
Rub
sec.
your hands together real fast.
The not.
We can Mr. Miyagi
challenge.
those smudges.
All right, we're gonna do tier 3. Give me a sec. I'm gonna set this up so that way it guarantees what we have and what we don't have. All right, so we have. What do I have?
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm gonna remove it from the loadout.
Oh, smart.
So I have tier 2 headgear, and then we have tier 2 smudgies, right? Was that it? No. So pretend like we're starting from scratch. Like this is the first round. The first one was literally a warm up. This one, we are going to try to get the ghost. We are going to try to get the objectives. Yeah. Okay. I think everything's set right. We have the tier 2 headgear, the tier 2 incense. Everything else is tier 3. I have black salt, which I'm totally fine with.
Hey, you're the pro here. I'm just gonna run around.
Oh, what did I have sound
okay.
recorder at?
Your FlashForce. I'm just make noises and die. Pretty much.
That's a t-shirt.
Although that might be a Chiba t-shirt rather than a me t-shirt.
All right, so again, to reiterate, we do not have the igniter. Our goal is to get the ghost and the objectives. If we literally can't do the objective because the item is removed, then we are free from having to do it.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair as well. Okay.
All right.
We're ready to rock. No igniter. This should be fun.
Yeah. I'm excited about this.
Oh, Nels. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, if we go to a map that has fire on it, then
So
maybe
wait a minute.
we could
What,
light.
not on this map necessarily, but what if the ghost lit something? Oh, so if the
I think
ghost
it's
lit
fair game.
something,
I think
then
it's fair game.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to extinguish it.
Absolutely.
All right. Look at us adding in rules that help us out. Perfect.
Look at the
Okay, here we
brain
go.
on Brad.
Look at the big brain on Brad.
Case 914, Mariah Carey. I remember of your team escaped.
Can you sing it like Mariah Carey for me, please? Oh, see, he's doing it right now. It's just, it's so high pitched, you can't even hear it.
And I just want you for my own, more than you will ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you.
That was beautiful.
And have a member of your team witness a ghost event.
There we go.
Mariah Unamadori. Good stuff.
Wow, I just had like 5 people tell me they were unfollowing because of that. That's a record, I think.
Wow, it's not very nice. All right.
That's okay.
All right, I'm going to take...
You get used to it.
Since I took the tier 3 EMF, I'm going to take the tier 1 thermo. I think that's very fair.
Okay, roger that. I'm going to take the tier 3
I
thermometer.
just naturally walked over. Let me grab my...
Nope, not there. Not there.
Damn it.
Not there.
Following you should. As you should. All right, good luck, Honk. I should have sang with him. I know. It's missed opportunities. There's always next time. There's always next time. All right, let's see. All right, first things first, I'm going to go find the juice.
Okay, roger that.
All right.
Wait, your voice is doing the voice thing again.
What? Is it muffled?
Yeah,
What?
I can't hear you. Well, I mean, it sounds like...
All right, let's walk outside. How about now?
All right. Yes, now I can hear you.
What?
Yeah.
All right, how about now?
No, it's doing the muffled thing again.
What?
Out here, not muffled.
I
then
don't know
in
how to
there,
solve.
muffled.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. I have an idea. Come.
What is your idea?
Grab the parabolic. Take the parabolic, turn it on and turn it off. Okay, now let's go inside and see what happens. It might be the
All
lobby
right.
just being weird, which would really suck and be
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
What is the not challenge? We are banning an item every round, and every time we're successful, we go to the next round and we add an extra item.
All right, back inside we go.
Test.
No! What is going on?
I don't know. Unless I have to talk like this the whole time, which would probably be annoying.
Are you kidding me? I could listen to those dulcet tones every single day, all day.
Dasher, so if you read every message where somebody responded to you, they said the first round was practice and this is the first real one. Push to talk? I mean, that shouldn't be muffling. Voice activation. I'll try. I mean, why not? Oh, yeah. Those messages with the words that made a sentence. Yeah. Game. Voice recognition. Doc, am I still muffled?
Oh, the bone's back in the little lock-in freezer-y type area.
Hey.
Like, right
Am,
out.
am I still muffled?
What'd you say? I heard.
Is it still muffled?
Yes.
Damn it. All right, Okay. I tried push to talk.
Maybe we should
I tried push to
re-lobby
talk.
after this
Obviously,
or
that
something.
didn't work. Yeah, we might have to do another lobby. There's no need to spin a wheel. He has a randomizer. Yeah, there's no need for it.
$7 degrees in this hallway.
We have EMF 5, I think,
5
coming.
degrees.
Yeah. I think we have EMF 5 over here, sir. I'm gonna have to talk like this when I talk to you, which I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Doc spun no mic. He spun for my mic to get jacked. Out here, it's fine. Inside, it's not. That means it's either a lobby or a game problem.
EMF detector right next to the Windex.
What'd you just call me?
I didn't call you Windex.
Listen up, Windex. All right, let's bring. Ooh.
That
We
sounds like something one disgruntled restaurant employee would call another. Like at the end of the night,
No,
they're closing down.
No, Thermonerminer is not
Someone didn't
banned.
like- Someone's been like helping themselves to tip jars. They,
I'm going. Allow me. I'm going to announce it again so we
Windex.
can understand, because there's apparently a lot of people that are still very confused.
I don't know why I'm using the walkie-talkie with you.
You don't
because
have
you can
to.
hear me
I
fine.
do. If I do it, well, no, you can hear me fine out here, though, right?
Yes, now I can hear you
so
fine.
outside, it's fine. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the EMF 5. Okay, so we have EMF 5.
Okay,
Okay,
good to know.
Roger that.
Evidence, EMF 5. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm gonna bring in a book,
Okay.
and I'll also do the talkie thing.
Ah, classic talkie thing. Open mic would be great. It would be, but it's being weird. So allow me to reiterate again, because apparently many are confused. The first round that we played was a practice round. So that was just to see how it would work. If everything was fine, he did his little mic. He did his test with his sound and everything, and we did the thermo band just to test it out. So this is like as if we are starting for the first time. So the item that got banned was the igniter. So we can't use the lighters. That's it. No, it's okay. Just making sure we understand, because it seemed like half people were on board, half were confused. So there we go. Caught my husband humming All I Want for Christmas. Listen, I didn't say he had to sing that song. I just said the ghost's name is Mariah Carey, okay? Oh yeah, our sanity's low.
Are you close? Can you give me a sign? Can you? No, that doesn't.
Oh, that works though.
And EMF 5. Nice.
Roger that.
Oh wait, we already had it. We already had EMF.
We already
5.
had EMF 5,
Crab
yes.
sandwich.
Tell you what, I'm actually gonna do this instead. There we go. That's much better.
Okay, I'm gonna run out and I'm gonna grab a smooge.
Classic smooge. Oh, the power's off. There we go. Cursed item? I don't know. No, we can't light the smudge. That's correct. Defenses are crucifix. We do not have smudges available. So unless I don't think there's any way for the ghost.
Oh yeah, hey Flash, remember how we said, or I said I wanted a smudge?
Said you wanted a what?
I wanted to get a smudge stick. You remember me saying that?
Oh
a second
yeah.
ago?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that anymore.
That's fair.
You're amazing.
No, you are. Go turn on the grills. I don't think that's actual fire though. Is it? That's not actual fire like that we can use fire, right? I'm gonna go do a test.
So we don't do cleanse the area then, because we can't.
Yeah, but escape we can. It's just gonna be dicey. Well, it's an actual flame. I don't think that it will light our, yeah, dicey. Yeah, you know, dicey.
So wait, how are we going to cleanse the area if we can't smudge?
Well, I think that's one of those things where it's like, if we can't do it, we can't do it. There's nothing we can do about that one. But we can escape and also witness a ghost event.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. Roger that. I'm bringing this anyway. I have science things to test.
Going to be this hard.
Well, well, it's because you're so used to one way. I'm like, it's just, yeah, it's a pickle. All right, I'm bringing a UV.
Yeah.
Our sanity is almost within hunting range.
I'm bringing a smudge. I'm going to wave it at the ghost and hopefully that works.
I need to buy myself some time. I'm going to take that. Yeah, we don't have any lighters. Hi, Scorpio. Thank you for the follows. I appreciate you. Thank you for the merch giveaway earlier. Ace, thank you for the 2 months.
Oh, wait a minute. Should I get sanity? Should I go do sanity?
You can if you want to.
I think that would be smart.
Okay. Bomber, you think that people are going to read that? That's just silly. All right, let's go test. Bill. Again, like I said, you think that's not going to solve anything. I will bet you $50 if we pin it, someone asks me what is banned. Oh, so hopeful. I just never tried this before. I was like, it looks like it works for a second. You know what I mean? Just a thought. Yeah. That'd be really cool. I think that should work.
Where you pulling them cards, bruh?
Oh, I was over here trying to see if I could light my lantern on the grill, bruh. It's not working.
Ooh, that's smart, bruh.
Yeah, it's not working.
I noticed you put a couple stakes on for us too. That's awesome.
I don't want us to be, you know, I want us to have the energy to be able to get through this hunt.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Wherever you want, sir. Smudge steak. Right in the face. There's no candles or anything for it to light on this map, like anywhere.
That objective might be a wash.
Yeah, that's okay. Point Hope does have matches on it. It does. Where's the ghost at, Brad?
I have not seen much of the ghost in a little while, bruh. I wonder if it's still in here, bruh.
I don't know. I hear the sink over there, Brad.
Oh, it's 9.7 degrees in here, bruh.
Oh, God. Oh, no, Brad. That means it moved, Brad.
Why is it
What you
moving,
doing,
bruh?
bro?
Oh, wait.
Bathroom!
Did you say go through?
Wait, what?
What? All right. Dots are set up. Getcha. This not challenge has already proven to be challenging. Well, when the first thing we lose is our ability to have fire. Not good, but we're still going to try. He's listening to sounds, music. I can hear it. I'm sorry, I can see him bobbing and weaving. 6, 7, 6, 7. All right. No phalanges that I can tell.
Okay.
Where are you?
It's orange one.
Are you near?
Sorry.
Still got spirit box. Still got spirit box in EMF 5.
Let me witness you.
What does that mean? Let me witness you. A ghost can light a candle, but what candle? I don't know if the ghost can light your firelight. I don't know if I've ever heard of that happening. Campfires, things that are already on the map, it can. Could try, I mean, sit here for an hour and see if it'll light a fire. That's not worth it. I don't think that it can. What are we missing, bruh?
I got a song playing. I'm sorry.
Is okay. Three degrees. No UV. Spirit box. What are we missing? Double check orbs again, which we did not see before. No orbs. Has not messed with the book at all. The ads are not necessary. I don't think you understand how platforms work. Could it be slow dots? It could be, unfortunately. Spicy.
I did something useful.
Ads, bruh.
I'm starting to get nervous about our objectives. I'm not gonna...
I am a little bit as well, just because it's being a weenie.
Hey, don't be a weenie. I did something less weenie-ish. Oh, it's a win.
Where Doc? Where'd he go? Oh, he went to the kitchen. Doc, you okay? Where'd you go? Oh, hey, the bone. Where's your body? Coming. That might be twins, kind sir. All right. Shite. It cut the juice. Where was the juice? It was in. God, I see my. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. I'm gonna die. 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 Can the Onryo light candles? Yes, but I don't think it can light firelights that you bring inside. What happened for the last 2 minutes? Dude, the craziest stuff happened. You missed it. It was wild. Lilac, stick with the 3 months. Zeke, stick with the 8 months. I'm waiting for it to start hunting so that way I can get the escape the ghost. I just need to get the escape. I'm just waiting for it to start hunting. Or never mind. A weakened Galu? This could be true. Wait. Can I get out of here and get some salt? How much money do I have in the game? I don't know. Like 1.9 million. Unfortunately, the ghost evented and then it started hunting like right on top of us. It was extremely unfortunate. Extremely unfortunate. But it is what it is. Okay, want to play that game? Play that game. All right, start hunting from over there. God. Here she comes. See that ugly bear paw? Did you see that? Danger close. I retract that last statement. It's a Galu. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Twin, thank you for the 13 months. Oh, is that squirty cream for me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Here, let's give it to the cop. Oh, he doesn't want it. All right, I'll bring it to the drug. All right, let's see. What if I put it... There we go. Now it's a new piece of equipment. All right, I'll grab the smudge, the camera, and the squirty cream. Let's go. It's a Galu. Where's Doc? Doc's not doing so hot. He turned into the Riddler. Yeah. Yeah, it was very unfortunate. The ghosty was a butthole and spawned on top of us. We have no... We can't use smudges because we had no lighter. So, do you want the good news or the bad news? Doc.
Or should I go with the bad news first?
Oh, I couldn't hear the first part. Sorry.
All right, I like good news.
Okay, good news. I would say that we succeeded because we had an objective we literally could not complete. It was impossible to complete.
All right.
So, success.
What's the bad news? The
bad news is that we succeeded. So I'm going to need you to ban another item.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do one at a time. We're going to do one at a time.
Here's the question.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Yes.
Do we keep the banned item that's already banned, or do we do 2 new banned items? I think 2 new would make it interesting.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Because
I agree.
What if we had like parabolic and tripod? And it's like, okay, well then now we have 3 and it's like there's no challenge at all. But if it's fresh on the next round, it could be anything. I think 2 new.
I concur. I think it should reset each time. All right. So, Rayman, hit us with the first banned item in the not challenge challenge. Oh.
He's going to let us know what the 2 items that are being banned are.
First item. No spirit box.
Ooh. Okay.
All right, Rayman, hit us with the second one.
I have an edit idea in mind that I'm going to do for this. I'll see what I can do.
And no book. No book, no
Sweet.
spirit box.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Only 2 evidence items. That's great.
Yeah.
Do we want to what do we want to try me hosting to see if it gets rid of that stupid audio problem we were having?
Okay. I hate to leave you, but
Okay.
all right. Bye.
Bye. All right, we'll try this again. We will see.
Welcome back. I've got
I'll host this time. We were having an audio problem. It was like muffled inside the map, and we don't know why. Partial evidence challenge, yeah. All right, we'll go to pro. All right, he can join me. I already have igniter turned off. Wait, no. I need an igniter on. Whoops. Igniter on. Okay, we need to lose, which we're gonna get one of these anyway. It's because it's default. It really doesn't matter, but I guess it would save us money if we're gonna get got.
Are we having any audio issues or no? Is everything okay with the audio?
Everything sounds good here, good old buddy.
All right, perfect. I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Let's go.
All right, so no
You
book,
still
no
have yet to
spirit
take care of that
box.
jaundice. I really need you to get that figured out, okay?
My jaundice? What do you mean?
Oh, you fixed it. You're good.
Oh, perfect. Well,
Oh,
now you
wow.
have jaundice.
Oh, wait. What, really?
I didn't realize it was.
It's situational,
that I could
literally
give you my
where you are.
jaundice.
Like locational, I mean.
Jaundice, not jaundice. Oh wait, no, jaundice.
Jaundiced?
not jaundice.
jaundice. Jaundiced? Not jaundiced. What I have my road
All right.
duo.
Well, I think I'm ready for this challenge.
Alrighty, sir.
Even though I haven't
I
lived
can't-
yet since we've started.
I can't completely turn off the writing book and the spirit box because they're default. So we'll just throw them away when we get into the map.
Roger that. Sounds good.
Okay.
Boink.
Boinkies. Oh, shit.
We've arrived. Check the equipment.
Who needs restricted when you can do the full thing?
Whoever was here must have summoned the ghost with a cursed object.
Hey, the parabolic is available.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Anyway, here we go.
Case 916. And the girls
So
are running with the
excited, so
crucifix.
excited.
Capture 4 devices. Never read and capture 3.
Your enthusiasm sounds like a radio host from like the 50s. Well, if we check outside,
today over
today,
Chicago.
we can see that they dropped another bomb on us. Oh crap, that sucks. Too much? All right. Flashlight, parabolic. Hopefully my sound is okay in the map.
I hope so too.
We'll check when we get inside. All right, I have parabolic, I have flashlights, and I'll go with thermo.
All right, I have a thermometer, a flashlight, and a EMF thing.
All right, I like it. Thing.
Thing.
Oh, the old thing.
I just tried to pull on that door and it didn't.
Do the Humpty Hump. Oh,
People say you're Humpty.
really good looking.
That's all right.
All right, I'm gonna go left. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go right. Okay.
Okay, Roger that. I'll miss you.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Make good decisions. Hey, Chuck Princess, how are you?
Maybe the best decision would be to go back to the van.
No. You'll be fine.
So you're telling me you're telling me to make like kind of good decisions.
Like, make decent decisions. Like, I want you to think about something, and when you go to do it, be like, well, that was decent.
Okay. I'm gonna have broccoli with dinner tonight. Not gonna go to the Vale.
Well, okay, the good decision doesn't excuse you from the round. You do have to continue.
We're adding an awful lot of rules into this noise right now.
Listen, but I do appreciate you looking out for your health and eating some broccolis.
Thank you.
I think my daughter wanted meatball subs for tonight. I think that's the plan. I haven't heard a damn thing. This ghost is either extremely quiet or I have not been near it. Doc's a little kid. Doc's not a little kid. Look, I just need you to remember one thing, okay? That's all I need you to remember. So many ambient sounds, none are the ghost. Oh, hey. Power's on, by the way.
Thank you.
Welcome. Did I flip the switch over there? Does anyone remember if I flipped that switch? I did? Okay, thank you. No, Doc wasn't over there. What the hell? Thank you, I did, okay. Gotta be honest, I'm not hearing anything, bruh. How goes the things? Okay. The ghost is real quiet. Doc and I have circled this map and we haven't heard anything. Doc?
Yeah.
I think I just heard a candle in the chapel get blown out.
On my way to you.
But it's 16 degrees in here.
Hey,
Jesus.
what we got?
Oh my God. I don't know.
I know, but there's a donut song playing. Sorry, I'm sorry. There's a donut song.
Oh my God. It's it's right there, Doc.
The door thing again.
It's in that room again, Doc.
Talk to me again, because I may have just lost your voice again.
Drifter.
Oh my God.
Oh, my lantern. Are you okay? He's so aggressive. Just got back into Phasmo after about 4 years. Holy moly. Oh, man, Freddy, a lot's changed. A lot has changed. Okay. Our sanity is at 74. I'm very shocked. Y'all found the room. We did.
Well, because it should be higher.
What? What?
I was saying I was shocked because it should be higher or lower.
Because he's so
You're saying it should be lower.
It's so lovely. Playing pro, yeah. It's easier. I don't want to say it makes the games easier. It's just we can get a lot more games in. It's way less complicated.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Hey, we have orbs. This seems familiar. In a round that probably won't get included if I post it. This was the same room. Oh, I want to do this. Intradastings. Stop blowing out fire lights.
How you doing in there?
Hey, how are ya?
Yeah, I thought something like that might happen.
It's like, I'll be fast. I'll hide behind the door. You'll never know.
No, because when I see like a hand poking out from the door,
It really ruins
you're
it.
not saying anything, I know something bad's about to happen.
Listen, oh, by the way, this is fun. So go stand behind the door.
And well, oh, you mean like behind the
Like
door?
right, no,
here?
like against the door though. Stand against the door. Yeah, right there. Don't
Okay,
move.
I'm standing against the door. All right, I'm moving. Ah!
We can move. I can move you with the door.
Wait, try that one. Oh!
So look, try to get out real fast. Oh, damn it. Never mind. Wait. Try it again. Go in there. All right, try now.
You shall let me pass.
There you go. All right. Well, that's fun to know.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Let me out.
Let me out. It's on.
Okay, should I not salt right now? I'm gonna salt this.
You could if you want to.
This sucker's getting salted.
We need to bring a photo camera in. That was rude. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'll be right back.
All right, be careful.
What I walk into, me trapping Doc behind a door. The ghost saw what I was doing. It was like, wait, I want to play.
Yes. It doesn't look like we're gonna get UV footsteps.
Roger that. Billy, thank you for the follow, by the way. Appreciate you. All right, we're bringing another crucifix. We're going to bring in... Oh, that's right. We do have igniters this round. Oh, thank God. Okay. Got that on me there. Skibidi-bop. We have one of every evidence thing inside of the room. Up here comes Doc. What did I say? I said we had orbs. That's it. Okay. Okay, we only have orbs.
Here's the thing, is that you putting those in the corner, I thought, was initially like, hey, it's just sort of a gimmick, just to remind us. But I literally, every time have been going back to grab the book and the spirit box. It's that much.
Yeah, I know. It's just in the brain that you're used to it. Let's pretend for a second that we have both of those things. That would make this a mare. And if it's both of those, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's going to make it a little tougher.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
This might be a mare.
What makes you say so?
It hunted above
sanity?
50%.
What are the odds?
I don't know. Let's go back inside.
Okay. No, I mean, what are the... I don't understand the term. What are the odds?
What are the odds? Means?
Yeah.
But the lights were off. That's why it can hunt early. Yeah.
I'm here to support you.
I appreciate you.
Got support right behind you.
Okay.
All this support. Okay. Well, I'm supporting you a little bit. I'm supporting you from a distance.
Support them cheeks. Hey. Did it just do it? No, it did not.
I think it might have. That seemed very flashy on the light.
Goes far? Oh. Well, that ruins our plans. I can still try to get the mare ability more, though. Oh, wait. Ka-chow. There's an EMF reading. Okay. There's a crucifix. That's cute. I can go get the bone. Dunzos.
Oh, wait a minute. Overview. 3. Okay. 3 unique photos with a photo. Sorry, I forgot about the whole objectives part of this.
Yeah. I just need one more photo, and then we got our objectives. I think
Roger that.
This is feeling like a mare, and it's just really unfortunate that we're not getting 2 pieces of evidence.
I just wonder if this door keeps doing its shutting thing. If I were to take a picture of that door, if it would count as a thing, or if it's just a bug.
I'd say probably not, and then it's a bug, and then it's just unfortunate. That's my guess.
See, now, is the door slowly opening for you when you just did that?
Nope.
That is so bizarre.
When are we going to end the stream? Whenever I end it. Yeah. I don't know when.
Don't understand.
I don't have a set time of like, this is the second that I end. Yeah. Eventually. I keep trying the ability. You have to wait. It's 10-second cooldown on the Switch. What's up with all the ghosts not eventing a lot? I don't understand.
Probably me.
What do you mean you? What'd you do? What'd you say?
I'm not wearing my Axe body spray today.
Oh, I understand. 10 seconds per switch. Yeah.
Okay. Did you just close the door?
No, the door is still open for me.
Okay, it is completely shut for me.
Oh, yeah?
Now it's open.
Oh, okay. Let me know when it's shut again.
Okay, I will. Did you just turn it off?
That was me.
The light?
No, I turned it off. Yeah, it didn't do the ability. Too bad it's not like the Mayor on Tangle. I know.
Do the ability. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Light. Oh, let's go!
No shot. It just did it.
It totally did it. It totally did it.
Oh
It totally
my
did
god.
it.
That's too good. Wow. This has to be a
See,
Mayor.
Flash,
Nice job,
you
sir.
brought me along for a reason. Yeah,
You've
there
got
it is.
he's got the skills.
So, how did you contribute to the hunt today? Well, I flipped a light switch.
I mean, we could let it hunt so that we could hear the speed just to be extra sure.
Okay, extra sure is good.
Extra sure. I'm just getting a photo of the bone so we can complete our objective.
You do have a lighter, right?
Yes, sir. Get you out.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I could get the cursed object, too, just for funsies.
I almost asked you, how on earth are we going to find the bone in this place? And then I remembered.
Oh, yeah. That hasn't been fixed in, like, ever. Oh, no.
Cards.
Oh, no. Not those again.
If they're there, it doesn't mean we have to use them. I mean,
This is true.
right? Oh, motherfucker.
Don't have to use them. Just pulled one. I was just curious. Damn. We needed a hunt. I made it a hunt. What? Oh, check. Okay, good. We needed a hunt. I succeeded. I made it happen. Oh,
Yeah, you did.
it's still hunting. Oh no. Whoopsie doodles. It's the longest hunt ever. Okay. All right. We don't have to pull the rest of the cards.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. Let's get
We touched them. That's what matters.
Yeah, they were touched. Complete touchage.
Touchage.
You're doing great.
Doc, you better scooch your tush out that door. Right about now.
All right. So we're confident it's a mare, is what we're saying.
I'm pretty confident if it's not, well, then shame on us because that's awful. That's an awful lot of trickery to do that to us for the light switch.
I'd say so. Don't they know we're trying to do a not challenge?
Yeah. Don't not get in the not way.
Yeah, don't
just
not,
hit this.
don't
Just hit the
not
button. Just hit the button.
All right, I'm hitting it.
Okay. All right. Shame on Doc for faking the light switch, but it did it to me too. That's the thing. It also did it to me. Amazing.
I've got some jobs ready for you.
I think it did. Yeah. Yep. Two abilities. We both got it. That's interesting.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
All right. Is it that time again?
It's another round, which means now it's 3 items.
Okay. Ready?
Nope.
Raven! Oh,
no, you're good.
are you ready now? Okay.
Yeah.
Raven! Do the thing!
And we both lived. Very true, Sissy.
Hey. Hey, guy.
Yes.
Hey, guy.
Yes.
I want you. All right. So I want to establish right off the bat, you're awesome.
Thank you.
And I don't want you to be mad.
Okay.
I don't want you to be mad.
I promise I won't get mad.
We can't use smudge sticks, and that's just the first one. So no smudges. No smudges.
Piece of monkey shit.
You said no. I don't like it when you yell. Okay. Raven, do the thing a second time.
Oh, did he say no smudge sticks? Come on, man. Come on.
Okay.
It better be a lighter.
Second one is no book. So no smudge, no book.
Okay.
Raven, do the thing again. No sanity meds.
Okay. Sweet.
No smudge, no sanity meds, no book. Okay, well, this is gonna be fine.
Here. Put that right there. Oh my God. It will. Can somebody pin that, please? I was trying to pin it and it's not letting me do it. Why is the chat so
It's gonna
dumb?
be fine.
I don't understand. Sounds like a great round. Should be fun. So no smudges.
No smudge,
sanity,
no sanity, and no book.
and no book. Okay. It sounds adorable. And on a random map, which should make it a lot of fun.
Yeah. If it's Sunny Meadows again, I'm going to cry.
I'm going to lose it.
Yes.
Here we go. Graphiton. Okay. Wait a minute.
All right, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation.
Oh no.
Thank you. That's really helpful. Thank you. You're
I've got a
doing
report that
awesome.
suggests
Oh,
a
no.
possible
Oh,
ghost
no.
sighting.
Oh no. No.
Um.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well,
Oh, it's snowing.
So how do we
What?
say this? How do we say this? So Grafton is
I don't know.
So Grafton is not an event map right now. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
What does that
No.
mean?
I don't know.
It means that it is kind of a broken map. This is, remember when we lit the summoning circle and the ghost kind of stayed there and couldn't kill us?
Yeah, and it did the smooth criminal. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we just re-roll? Like, just leave? Because it's not going to hunt like normal.
Okay, we can do that.
Let's
All
just
right,
guess. Let's guess and
I'm
go.
guessing. Wait, but if we get it wrong,
Oh, the
no,
loadout. You're right.
No, we're not counting. This is a no go. It's
This
a
is a-
Dio.
This is a, hey, I figured it out. Yeah, we're going to re-roll.
Yeah.
let's do it.
It's a Dio.
Okay, it's a Dio.
Button.
Roger that. I'm trusting you, okay?
Okay, you watch. I nailed
Okay.
it.
Okay. If you're
Ghost-
right, you're
Ghost-
hacking. I'm going
I
to report you.
felt it.
He's going to say, what? Ow, Bucky.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
The old bake a cake. Why does it not work?
Okay,
Because the
well,
ghost won't hunt where you
let's
need
try
it to
it again.
hunt. Yeah, and give me a second. Let me adjust my loadout, too.
Oh, a loadout adjustment.
Get it.
Chat's like, you lived.
Yay! You lived. What did we say it was? We said no smudge, no book, no sanity meds. That's right. There we go. Manuel's. Put that over there. Wham bam Sam. Okay. All right, we will leave that there. Cool. So we'll see how that works. All right, let me adjust this. So we don't have books. We do have spirit box. We do not have incense. And we also do not have sanity meds. Okay.
Correct.
All right, that should be good. Yeah, if it's Grafton at all today, then we need to just re-roll. And if it's Ridgeview and it's a non-event, then it's fine because we're not going for the bone anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right, roger that.
Hey, Faz Monday, what's up?
Understood.
Roger that.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
My chi is prepared.
Your chi or your cheese?
My chi. My and cheese is prepared.
Tangle. Oh, cool. It's a hurricane outside. This should be good.
Get set up before investigating.
All right, here we go.
Linked to a cursed object.
You're linked to a cursed object. Shut up. You are a cursed object.
Oh, he's not ready. Oh my gosh. Get burned on, you old radio.
Yeah, old idiot, old radio. Here we go.
Case 918, Susan Taylor. Detect the ghost presence with a motion sensor. Cleanse the area near the ghost using... incenses. Capture 3 unique photos with a photo camera.
Okay. I thought you were going to say, cleanse the area near the ghost using... mind powers.
Mind bullets. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll do what we can. We literally can't cleanse it. So it's not even like, oh, maybe what if the ghost lights it? No, we can't. Literally can't.
So in a weird way, it's kind of a bonus for it.
Kind of, yeah. One less thing to do. Yeah. One less thing. Man has a family. Do they?
I struggled a little bit with the door there. Sorry.
You're okay. All right, let's actually go get the power first. Let's do that. Sick burn, bro. Oh my god. I don't have photo camera, right? No. The power. The power is on.
Roger, that's good.
Isn't the next weekly challenge at high school? I don't know.
Circle star in the base.
That's hot. What's our objective? Motion
And it tastes like
incense
cinnamon.
photo. Stop licking the circle, Doc. That means right now, Doc.
It's really cold in the basement. It's like 5
Probably because you're
points.
licking the circle. It is very cold down here.
Yep.
All right, cool. I dig.
No, cold.
Oh. That's cold. I just don't judge me. I was calling my girlfriend.
Your call was misdialed.
Oh no, not again.
Okay. This.
All right.
Wait.
sanity,
I gotta
yeah.
remember. No sanity. No.
Oh wait, no book.
No book.
Yeah, we don't have.
no
We
book.
have 0 sanity locked and loaded. We have 0 incense. We don't have to worry about either of those. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna grab a lighter for illumination purposes.
So I also grabbed a lighter.
Nice.
But
See,
you can use
muscle
it to light the lanterns or the circle if we want to drain our sanity.
That is true. That is
It's
true.
useful.
I'm really anxious to light the circle when we don't have access to smudges nor sanity medication. I think that's a wonderful thing.
I think it's fine, says the big bunny. Any plans for retro soon? I don't know. Uncertain. At some point for sure. Oh yeah, I only have so many hands. I can't. I would bring the camera, but I can't. We'll go back and get it.
Where are you?
Hold on.
You near?
Hold on. Oh. It slipped away. Careful. Probably slipped because it's so cold from somebody licking that damn circle again. How's your belly hurting, bud?
Little bit. Gonna get some.
Got a little belly ache there, bud?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and dig some Tums there, bud.
Yeah, don't forget the Pepto on the right there, bud.
Roger that.
have spirit box. That looks like an orbicle to me. We got orbs there, bud.
Roger.
Who's Roger?
The driver.
Where'd he go?
He went over to Arby's.
I have no photos, right? Okay.
Did you want something, or?
I mean, I wouldn't be upset if you got me, you know, a curly fry.
The curly fries are kind of amazing.
They're pretty banging. Gotta love them.
You know, I'm just saying, like, if you needed something to tide you over until he got back, there's a cinnamon circle in the corner.
Oh, roger that. Thank you. Oh. All right, so we just need to cleanse the ghost, okay?
Roger.
Okay.
Wait, no, unroger.
All right, we got the UV down there. Do we have salt? Let's go get some salt. It's not really touching too much. We can't check. Thank y'all for the follows, by the way. Appreciate you, Kale, Big V, Blood.
Hey, so
Hey.
what's our plan?
Our plan is to figure out what we're missing. We've got spirit box and orbs. So we got a couple possibilities on the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to go
Oh, we don't have to check for
back
this.
in the house, but
It's fine. It's fine.
FlashForce said it was fine. I'm gonna be fine.
See? Told you. I'm gonna grab a second thing of salt. Why? I don't know. Because. I'm gonna grab one of these too. What's our sanity right now? Okay, we're okay. We're at 70%. We're fine. Roger went to go get the smudges. Ah, it makes sense. Does any ghost require writing? Yeah, the mayor. Ooh, I could try to get a mayor ability.
Freezing temperatures, confirmed.
Okay. Damn.
so that means we know what it is. It's an Onryo.
Unless we have mimicry.
Oh, motherfucker! Something's making sounds. Okay.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
I see no UVs.
Yeah, oh, it's an Onryo!
I see no UVs. Yeah, let's go.
Gotta be an Unreal.
Gotta be an Onryo. All right.
This puts us up to 4.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Doc's all hyped up on cinnamon. Yeah, a little bit.
Sorry. All right.
All right.
Onryo it is.
Onryo it is.
Another objective. Let's go. Click it.
Roger that.
Well done, sir.
Look at this.
Fine job.
Stuff and things.
Tut tut cheerio.
Tut tut.
Ballyhoo.
How do you get the rewards for Phas? By watching whenever there's availability to have rewards. There are none. There's no drops right now. Sweetness. Look at us go. You're a hero in my book. Jenny, thank you for the 4-month prime. All right. You know what that means.
I do know what that means. I do. Raven! Do the thing! First one, no dots.
Okay, that's different. Oh, you're new? I assumed as much from the first 5
Do
messages
the
that said you were
second
new. Yeah.
thing! No pair of bollocks.
Okay. Black Raven.
And we
hello.
can't use the microphone either. All right.
I hate it here.
Raven! Raven, do the third thing!
I'm new too.
No flashlights.
What the hell
For
did
me,
you just
that's gonna
say?
be an issue.
What did you just say?
I said no flashlights. I said we can't use them. We can't use them. They're not allowed. The rules. Raven, do the fourth thing. No motion sensor. Okay, so.
All right, so
from
hold
the
on.
top-
From the top, what do we got? Number 1.
The first
No
one
dots.
was no dots.
Okay.
The second one was all right. Dots, parabolics, flashlight, motion sensor. Dots, parabolic, flashlight, motion sensor.
Locked and loaded.
Okay. I tried to find a more appropriate sound, but I think that pretty much.
I think that sound
hit
is
the nail on the
perfect.
head.
Give me a second. I think that sound is spot on. Chip, chip. So we said no dots. We said no flashlight. No parabolic. And no motion sensors. Okay. Okay. Should be good. Good, great, grand. Should be fun. Okay.
All
so
right, I'm ready.
no dots, no flashlights, no motion sensors, no parabolics.
Correct.
Okay. It could be worse.
All right, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare
Could be
accordingly
worse.
before starting the investigation.
It'd be a very dark game.
There's been no reports of violence or sightings, but please remain careful.
Wow, it looks so bare over here.
Well, we removed some large stuff.
Yeah. All right, this is doable. This
think it's
isn't
fine.
too bad.
I think it's fine.
Case 919, George Jackson. Capture a photo of the ghost. Capture 2 unique paranormal sounds of the sound recorder and have a limit of 15 witness a ghost event. Easy.
Easy. No, it's snowing. No blood moon. All right. Oh, don't forget your headlamp if you want some light there, bucko.
Okay, confession. Oh wait, I don't even know how to use this thing to make it do light. I never use it.
Hold your flashlight button. Like how you would turn on the flashlight.
Got it.
There we go.
Got it. By the way, I am going to die because of this. This
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're fine. No, you're not. You're fine. Slay Dragon, thank you for the 3-month prime. Could use a firelight instead. Oh, this is true. Firelight could be good. I just wanted to free up hands. I'll come back for the firelights. We'll do this. This is probably a stupid idea.
All right, I have someone throwing a flag on using the headlamp. But you know what though? They're two distinct objects, so I think we're in the clear.
I think so too. It says no flashlights. It does not say no light sources, because then if we're playing that game, all right, then you can't use the UV because that's a light source. Want to play that game? Huh? Want to play hardball? Huh? Viewer?
Thanks, Dad.
You got it, son.
Power's on, Dad.
Roger that, child. Yeah, dots are a light source. We might as well just loop that all into one, right? All right, I have no up snow as of right now. Right, if it's separate on the randomizer, then it's separate from there. I agree. Semantics. People are like, oh, you should be doing this backwards, upside down under your desk. You shouldn't be able to see your monitor. Shut up. I see 0 up snow. Just a side note.
What is 0 up snow?
No, up snow. I see no orbs as of right now. Also, it turned the power off already.
Roger.
I've also heard 0. There we go. Would the video camera also be a light source? Technically, yeah. I also see no up dog. I also see no up dog. I'll turn the power back on. The down snow. That's right. There we go.
You find the ghost there, bud?
I haven't found nothing there, bud. Sorry, I was still pushing the microphone down while I was struggling to open a door.
You're doing awesome.
Hey, you by chance didn't hit a lamp on your way through, did you?
A lamp? No, I did turn on the light inside the office and in the front.
Well, we have a lamp that is turned on over near the front where the flies and the apples are. That is not some sort of weird metaphor. I mean, there's literally flies and apples over here.
Flies and apples. Love that. I
Yeah,
love
straight
plants.
ahead. That lamp was on when I rounded the corner.
Flies and apples.
Flapples. On the belief that you played the game that makes you... Wait, what? Oh, well, yeah, but when you're doing a challenge, obviously there does need to be some sort of restriction, right? Which I totally respect. All right, I'm grabbing a smudge just in case. Grab a smudge, grab a lighter, and I'm gonna grab a lamp.
The light has turned itself on.
All right, well, tell it to stop.
Where are you? Are you near?
Yes.
Are you close?
Yes.
Do you like to handle the propane? Where are you? Are you near?
Propane accessories.
Are you amongst the cults? Where are you?
Is that our next song title? Amongst the Culks?
Eight crucifix has been eaten.
We're at 70 sanity, by the way.
That's pretty high.
Roger that.
'Cause it's so high.
High above me. Hey, side note. We have up snow.
Oh, meaning ghost orbs.
Yeah, look, it's going up. See it right there?
It's kind of just over to the side.
Hey, we have writing.
Nice.
Look at that. It's a rev or a thay.
Because it turned on the light.
Oh, well, we can't get dots. That's a no-go. But we can get freezing. I feel like it's going to be a thay.
We can also get run away from the
We
ghost.
can get runaway. This is very true. Oh, wait. Oh, we need
All
a
right.
photo of it, too. And two
I got sound
sounds.
recorder. Yay!
All right, then I'll get the photo. Fine. Want to play hardball? Let's play hardball.
I mean,
I think it's a
ultimately,
thing.
we both know you're more qualified for that part.
Don't you dare. I know what the curse object is, actually. Hey, did we see the curse object in our travels?
I wasn't really looking. I was.
I
busy
also
being
wasn't
concerned.
looking. Let me peek in here. Maybe it's the mirror. No mirror. Oh, hi, Toe. Got a second gold bunny. Nice. Ka-chow. We'll get you later, Toe. I promise. That's right. I'm getting ready to get this photo any second. Any second. Here it comes. Any day now.
Not a whole lot going on.
Any day now. What is my favorite OG map? What do you define as OG map? Do you mean the ones that came out when the game came out in September 2020? Ghost, I need a photo of you. Hi, Kitsune. When the game came out. Do you know what maps were here when the game came out?
Oh, okay. I have my eye adjustment on.
That's another Cruci boy. And another light turn on. You know what? No, you want to turn it on? Fine, leave it on. I don't know how to say the name S3VI3S, but hello. How are you? Slay Dragon, thank you again for the 3 months.
Oh, I gotta capture 2 sounds?
Yeah, you got to capture 2 there, bud.
I only captured 1 and I threw them. Oh, never mind. It's in my hand.
Hey, did you get that fart sound there, bud? Yeah.
Roger that.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna go get stuff.
All right. What up, Rogue? If you need to do, if you're looking to learn from the best for APOC 3, you're in the wrong location. Yeah. Don't do a lot of APOC gaming. Not too much. Relax. Oh, it's a stupid kid. I can't see.
Well, stupid kid.
Yeah, that's a Thesafer if I've ever heard one.
Okay.
Also,
well,
another ghost where we need an event, and it's like, nah, not in the mood.
I don't understand.
I don't either.
A little participation would be nice here. Instead of being a turd.
Instead of being a turd burglar. Yeah.
It's a turd and it's a child.
Flash hates kids confirmed. Is this your first day here?
I didn't mean that, by the way. I'm sure you're delightful.
It doesn't believe you.
It should. Hey, you want me to read you some Dr. Seuss?
Dr. Z. Ads are going to happen in like 2.5 minutes. Just a heads up, friends.
Why am I in here? Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. You're egging it on. I don't know what you felt the need to charge in there and.
Well, we do need to.
Ew, it's like throwing stuff in the goo.
Well, it is a child. They produce.
How do you get drops?
goo and then
Watch
they
the
throw
streams
stuff
whenever
in it.
drops are
That's
available.
what they do.
No event. Not even like a ringy rosy right in front of you here right now.
What do you mean?
Like right now. Right
Listen.
now.
No.
Yes.
no.
Yes.
You need to say the right things. It's a child.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
You need to say the right things. So, hey, little guy. Listen.
That's very nice of you.
I know sometimes. Yeah. Hold on. I know sometimes life can be scary and full of things that make us doubt ourselves and wonder. Will people ever actually treat us the way that we deserve to be treated? And I'm here to tell you right now, you're something special, okay? So you go ahead and let that heart light shine. You go ahead and continue being special because I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Keep it over here, bucko. Thank you, sir. How long did you guys have to wait? Oh, nice.
It didn't work.
Ghost is like, so speaking of letting my heart shine, you don't mind if I try to kill you, do you?
Yeah.
This is
Your heart shines on the outside of your body. How about that?
your heart shines in my hands when I rip it from your corpse. Good Lord. Oh. Wait, what was the answer? Why people think there's drops? What was the answer to that?
Nothing. Oh, that is a thing.
I
That is
don't know.
definitely a
I
thing.
don't know. I might have gotten it. I don't know.
Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go.
You ready, Doc? You ready? Loopy poopy. Loopy poopy. As I say, if you crouch, you can see it.
I'm more scared than I've ever been in my life.
Two people, this is tough.
It's like it's on roller skates. I can't.
It'll be fine.
No, I don't know.
We're good.
Oh my God!
Run!
Get me out of here!
Run! Oh man,
We did it.
we did it.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. Look at we got here. Shadow Ghost. It's just your arm holding a smudge. Love it. Love it.
The moment of panic when I realized I did not have a flashlight. It was that stupid thing attached to my head. Oh my God.
All right. Do you have the ghost marked?
Yes.
You do
it's
now.
a
I like
thing.
it. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
I wonder if that pep talk that you did worked. Maybe that's why it showed up.
Maybe. It just had to build it up a little bit.
Had to build up its confidence. I understand.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Sweet success. Honorable all, thank you for the gift into the community pool for Blurp, friend. Just what we need. Well done, sir. Oh, on to the next one.
Yes. And to you. Only 5 items.
That's it.
Being
We just have to
removed
ban
this time.
5 items. That's not bad.
All right. Raven! Do the first thing!
The challenge is the not challenge. We're banning an item every time we get it right and get the objectives. We ban another
No
item.
UV.
Okay.
Raven!
I saved Toad.
Do
though.
the second thing! No later.
Gosh dang it. I'm convinced you have like 5 things in your list of stuff and not all the items.
Telling you. No, I'm telling you. All right, here we go. Raven! Do the third thing!
No UV, no lighter.
No video camera. So no video hold on. This is getting hard to keep track of. No video
Hold on.
camera, no lighter.
Hold on. Let me fix the things.
All right.
All right. We need no UV, no video camera, no lighter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No video camera,
Okay.
no lighter, no UV. Okay.
All right. Next.
Raven, do the fourth thing! No headgear.
Damn it.
If this last one is flashlight.
If it's flashlight.
I quit.
Whoever said earlier
Oh,
about
God.
the both items, ban them. They're gone.
Okay. No. Raven, do the last thing. Motion sensor. Okay.
Thank goodness.
Wow.
There's some redeeming light there. Okay. So that is no UV, no video camera, no headgear, no igniter, and no motion sensor.
Correct. Wow. Okay then. This will be easy. As long as the map cooperates. Do not wish Blood Moon into this. Don't do it.
Why is it not letting me? Not let me pin your message, Juju. I was gonna just pin yours just to make life nice and easy. It's not letting me do it. So I'll do it this way. All right.
All right.
5 items missing. Here we go.
5 items down.
No blood moons. No, it'll be fine.
No.
They're saying blood moon prison, but I don't believe them.
I choose not to believe them either.
Savvy, thank you for the subs.
Alright, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the
Getting real sick of seeing this place.
Yep.
possible ghost sighting.
This left side is looking awfully barren.
Yep. Okay, well, here we go.
Case 920, Sandra Lewis. Capture 3 unique videos of the video camera. Have a member of your team witness a ghost event and repel the ghost within while chasing someone.
Okay, so we have
Except that we can't. Well, okay. So, I almost want to use a smudge to do a test.
Okay.
Can I light a smudge by throwing it at one of the candles in the chapel?
I think it's worth a try. Although,
we try.
remember, there's a whole other step associated with picking up the smudge after. Should one of us stand on one side of the candle, one of us stands on the other side, and you throw it through the flame, it lights on fire, the other person catches the smudge, and then we leave. Oh my God, I love it.
Wait,
Great plan.
Wait. Hold on. What is the benefit of somebody catching the incense?
Well, I mean, because you got to throw it through the fire anyway to light it, right?
Right.
So if someone catches it on the other side, you don't have to go and pick it up.
Why would
The
we
other
pick up?
person's already
Why would we
got it.
pick up a burnt smudge?
Well, I mean, it's going to be lit. So the other person, like, it goes through the flame. I catch it, and then I run, and I make a trail of vaporous ghost repellent, and then we leave.
All right, I'm down. All right, let's see. Let's give it a try.
It just says I'm down. That's all we get. I'm glad you're letting me have this moment.
Yeah, let's
Thank you.
go for
I
it.
appreciate it.
I like it. You know, if it works, it's going to look pretty awesome.
And if it doesn't work, it'll be hopefully kind of hilarious.
All right. So our mission is to see if we can throw the smudge through one of the lit candles in the chapel and someone catch it and run.
Yeah. All right. What is our candle of choice?
That's a great question. Which one seems like I was going to say over here we might have leverage, but we really don't have leverage. Let me do a test next to it. Okay. I think I can do it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I don't know if you're going to be able to. So you have to go to the other side of it. Yes.
All right.
Over there. I don't think this is
I am
gonna
ready.
work.
I am pressing E.
You ready?
Yeah. Pressing E.
I'm gonna try to throw it right like over top of this one.
Okay.
Here we go.
E.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say I don't think it works, or I didn't hit it. Hold on. Oh, it does work.
I didn't catch it though.
Yeah, it was there. Like it was just burning away. You could have picked it up and ran.
Okay, wait. Here's the thing. Do we try? Is it worth burning one more just to see if we can catch it?
I think we might need to save it. Okay. When we go to do this, you have to like throw it right at the candle to make sure you can light it. Man, escaping, oh my God, escaping a ghost with a candle and a fire. Oh, this is going to be hard. Repel it while it's chasing. So, okay. So maybe this isn't the best one then. Maybe you do it here. You get it to chase you from over like, oh God, it opens this way. From over the, I was gonna say here, but you can't see the ghost around the corner.
But if we're smudging, it's fine.
Wait.
So it's gonna be fine.
Wait. Eat. Rest.
Waiting.
Hold on. Look, there's a town. Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Doc, There's a thought to be had.
Okay, I like thoughts and thinking.
Okay. We light the lantern, and then you keep the lantern lit, and then you place it down, and you throw the smudge on it to light the smudge whenever you need to repel.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So we keep
However,
it near the spot near the piano, and then you have a smudge on you, and then you run over it and throw it at the lantern.
Smart. Or you light the lantern,
catch it.
I get the smudge, and then we throw them. They collide in midair, lighting the smudge.
Listen.
Okay, all right. It's just an idea. It would look so cool. Come on.
Time to science. This is some trickery. We have a Ouija board, by the way.
Roger that. We're probably gonna have to use that to find the ghost. Seeing it. Well, I mean, our sanity's probably already pretty chunked anyway after debating smudge tactics for 3 hours.
Pow. Right in the kisser.
Liking the setup, liking it. Oh wait,
Yes, sir.
hold on.
Can't say I've ever tried this before. If this works. All right, I'm gonna go get my stuff
Put those
from the
right
door.
there for now. Roger that.
All right, I'm gonna check our sanity too. For science. Hunt's on top of me. We die. All of that's gone. Savvy, thank you again so much. Ramble, thank you for the follow. 80. Okay, that's not too bad. What? Hold on. What were the items we can't use?
Oh boy. All right, it's pinned. No lighter, no UV. Oh, no video.
That's all right. I took care of it for you. I ripped it off the tripod.
Oh, perfect. No headgear, no motion. All right.
Yeah, and the headgear and the motion and the ignite, those are all gone. So we can't use those anyway. But the video camera and the UV, we have one of, so I threw them in the corner.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're okay.
Got it.
All right. Well, in we go. You okay?
Just a little nervous.
I'm bringing the tripod for principal. Kind of want to find the power. The moral support tripod. Correct. The alert is from the what alert? Right, I hear nothing. I hear diddlies. Too bad you can't set. I wish you could. It's really unfortunate you can't. Ah, Sag. Super Sage. Catch the VOD later. See you, Vaughn. Oh, confusion on what's banned, what's not. Yeah, the pin message should be correct. I hear nothing so far. What is our objectives? 3 unique video. Oh, we don't have to do that because we literally can't. Witness a ghost event, we can. You know, double check the objectives. We can't get one of them. Oh, no. I do have bad news, though.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
I hear a sink, and it's near the kitchen.
I'd be more upset if I actually knew where the kitchen was.
The middle section, the center of the back.
Oh, so like in other words, on the opposite side of the planet.
Correct. That is correct.
Are you sure that's where it is?
I'm pretty sure. Hi, Hyper.
Ghost hunting crap to you then.
Okay. Hey, what's our sanity? I'm not about to die, am I?
I'll go out and I'll check. If I'm going strictly off of vibes right now, I'm saying you're at 62.
It's a pretty good vibe.
My vibes. Oh, sorry. The van says you're at 66, so my vibes are ultimately more negative.
Nailed it. Appreciate it. Map is this at Sunny Meadows? You having a sunny good time? You know, we're trying our
You want me
best.
to take a sanity med while I'm out here?
You can if you want. You don't have to.
Right.
But do let me know if you do.
I did not take it.
I have another idea. Oh, that's dangerous. No, that's okay. I have an idea. If it starts hunting, I'm going to be in deep, deep shite, but we're going to try. Aries, how are you?
My legs hurt.
Deal with it.
Roger.
Roger that.
It's in the kitchen?
Yeah, in the back on the left. Doing some sciencing, sir.
Hey. Okay. So
I was
where do you
able
want me set up
to
these-
I was able to light my lantern with these burners that I just lit,
Oh.
which means that I probably could throw my smudge in there.
Well, that seems kind of counterproductive. If you wait, oh no, the objects don't have collision. I was gonna say we could put the smudge on the end of this shovel, do it like a pizza. You know, it's kind of like
Stupid, like a pizza.
One
I like
of the
it.
problems is you can't hold the shovel like any normal human holds a
No.
shovel.
Here, I got it. It'll be fine.
Smudge on the end of that. It's a smudge-a-corn.
Oh, did that one just go out, or is it just a visual glitch? Okay, maybe I can't trust those. Just digging yourself a deeper hole.
Oh, sorry, I'm right next to you. Are we saying it's in here?
No,
here,
no.
or
Across.
it's
Over
in-
there.
It's,
It's
in
straight
here.
across. Straight across.
Oh, like in this room.
Yes. See, I was just kind of being at the ready for the smudge thing. Because we're going to need a rappel. And witness a ghost event. And all that jazz. And all that jazz. But if I can get the rappel here, right? If I can get the rappel here. And then tuck in
I'm
here.
gonna go walk for a half hour to go find more equipment. I'll be back.
All right, I'm going to be at the ready for it to hunt me so I can try to smudge and not die.
Awesome. You're the right person for the task.
Thanks. I just want to be at the ready for it.
He's totally gonna die.
Wow. Hey, I hear you.
Oh man, push talk weird.
Piece of crap. Starts hunting as soon as Doc goes in. You know what? No, I'm going to do this. I'm purposely draining my sanity. You've never seen Sunny Meadows? Oh, it's great. I do have breath in here, but I don't think it's because of the ghost. I'm ready to throw this down. I'm ready. I am locked in at staring at this firelight with a smudge.
You're doing great. about dominance.
Well, the ghost, I think, honestly, I almost want to go further back, because then if I do it here and it gets to me here, then it will slow walk and go back. If I do it here, it could potentially go around the corner. Got your APOC 2 within 3 tries. Nice. Oh, my Lanta.
Okay.
Spare box.
Roger that.
Confirmed.
Writing.
Oh, writing confirmed.
Oh, imagine it's a DO. Oh, my God.
That'd be kind of awesome.
It would be kind of cool. I would have to run for my life.
All right, I'm gonna go get more, even more ghost hunting crap.
All right, let me know what our sanity is.
Will do.
Want me to cook you
In
anything
about
while I'm back
2.5
here?
hours.
If it's a DO, I'll be okay. Because what I can do is I can run quick, I can smudge, and then run away. But we also needed to event, which means this is actually a good idea. Someone being close enough to that it can event on. Never played this map. That's a great one. I would suggest playing every map. Highly suggest it. You know, this does serve another purpose because we do need it to event.
Roger.
Well, if it events me here and hunts from here,
Pick up
that's
the
fine.
empty tripod and start carrying it back to the room.
I brought it in for the vibes.
For the vibe.
The curse is the Ouija board. It just tried to murder.
I am glad it was unsuccessful.
Do we have one crucifix in there or two?
One in the room. I'll grab the other one.
Okay, I'm okay with one being in the room. Moida.
Your Sonata is at 43%.
I like
Or
it.
45%. Would you like me to take those drugs now?
No.
You want me to bring you some drugs?
I kind of wanted to hunt.
Okay, no drugs for you.
I'm practicing. You mainly play on Nels. I would really suggest playing on other maps too. What is the challenge? Banned items. It's called the Knot Challenge. What's our collective sanity right now?
It was around 40-something.
It might be a DO. Still no event, by the way, and I'm absolutely close enough. Why are they so stingy today? Why? This is like the third or fourth time we'd need an event and the ghost will not do it. Hey, fart ball, let's go. Said the fart ball. Hey, I'd be ready. I don't know if that crucifix has any more life on it. Yeah, we got the event. We can't do the video camera, but we can do the rappel. The rappel is possible. I don't want it to move. I kind of want it to stay there.
I kind of forgot. Like right now, you are our lifeline, and me standing by the door over there is not serving any purpose whatsoever. So I'm going to stand right next to you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be running into the room if you want to be near the hiding spot. Not in the hiding spot, but near it, because I'm gonna run in there and throw this down on top of the lantern.
Okay. Where's the hiding spot?
Over in here, behind the barrels.
Oh, barrels. All right.
Yeah. So if it is a DO, we're gonna stay by the lantern, and then when I throw the smudge down, we are going to run.
Okay.
So we're not trapped.
To the barrels. To the barrels.
Well, we're going to go to the barrels, but if it's a Dio, we'll stay there and wait, and then we'll smudge and then run away through the kitchen.
Okay.
So we're not trapped in this room.
Okay. Little scared right now.
That's okay. I don't know why it's not doing
Little
anything. And the only event that we had wasn't even technically the ghost. It was just, it's vapors. I don't know.
Vapors. Okay, I'm gonna go in there and I'm going to taunt the ghost.
Don't you dare.
Well, I mean, you know, when it's got to get done, it's got to get done.
It's gonna. Options? Come. Run to the corner. Was that a Moroi? That smudge sounded long, right? Okay.
That ain't a Dio.
No, it is not a Dio. Wouldn't, if it was a Moroi, would it be faster than that?
You would think so. Well, there's only one way to find out. Hey! You want to fight? You want some of the smoke? You got it. Bring it. I don't know what that means. Say it again. This time in Spanish. Okay.
This time in Spanish. You've never seen the boiler room? Yeah, sometimes the power spawns there. None of my Morois lately have had speed changes with the low sanity. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Then I'm not convinced of what we have right now. It's awfully dicey.
Flash, where are you?
I ran to the front, sir.
I don't know what I should be doing right now. I'm just standing in the room.
Well, I don't know if I would just stand in the room because it's going to eat that crucifix again, and then there's no more defenses.
I'm gonna go to the front.
That's a good plan. Wait a minute. Oh, the light's on in that room. Wait, would that even
I
matter?
just ate the crucifix again. I'm not gonna make it.
I believe in you.
I'm not gonna make it to the front in time.
Oh, the light's on in that room. That sucks. Might have to guess. I don't think we have to guess. I could see orbs from this camera if it comes in this way. If it like comes over this way a little bit.
Flash, the door is closed. Oh,
That's...
no, side is open. Sorry, I can't see doors.
I can't see doors, he says. I can't see doors.
I don't know.
Okay. I think I might go back in just to make it hunt so I can hear if it's average speed or not. I'm not convinced because we had immediate line of sight when it hunted last time.
Okay.
I'm watching this. Unfortunately, the light's on. We would be able to see orbs from here. Well, it may be like if the orbs moved in front of the door.
Oh, that's a good point. Using cameras. Look at that. Look at the big brain on Brad. Again, that's like 5 big brain moments today.
Big brain on brain. All right. Let's see. Well, we 100% know it's not a Dio.
Yes.
So we don't have to worry about dots, so that doesn't matter. Orbs, freezing, ultraviolet, or EMF 5.
I'm not really feeling poltergeist. Personally.
I'm not either. I think it was faster than normal, but if it was, that means it was a Moroi. All right, I'm gonna hear it hunt again. I'm just bringing Salt just because it's cute and adorbs.
I'll bring a sound sensor because we're allowed to.
Okay, that's right. All right, we do have a parabolic somewhere over this way, right?
There's one over by the roof.
There's one over here too, I think, in front of the chapel. Aha. There we go. Sephiroth, good night, friend. All right, when it starts hunting, I'll be able to hear it from here. Now it's throwing all kinds of stuff. Here, that sounds pretty normal to me, sir, if you want to give it a listen.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I think it hunted for the 3 minutes too. Mayor Pulte?
Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive.
Hey, what are you listening to?
Oh, Bee Gees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a tantrum. Yeah, it does. Okay. So we are between Pulte and Mayor. Oh, it's laughing. Which is ultraviolet or orbs. And we don't have UV, do we?
Wait, the light was on. Did you turn that light on?
No, did you?
No.
Oh, my Lance, are you telling me this is a poltergeist?
I didn't think it was a poltergeist because like it seemed like there was nothing poltergeisty and
It definitely didn't seem that way. We cannot check for UV. No. See, we can't check for UV. However, if that light switch was on, I did not turn that light on.
I'm pretty sure I didn't turn on. Chat, did I turn on the light? I don't think I did.
Chad, did he turn on the light?
Chat.
Chat.
All right. Ray-Ban says I don't think you did.
I don't think you did. What the?
Listen.
I need certainty.
Listen good. Okay, I got it. Just tell my family that I love them.
No, don't you dare. There's no need for this. No, there's no need for this. No.
No.
Flash. No.
No. Hush.
Don't stop.
Hush.
Don't sandstorm me. No.
It's fine.
You don't need to do this. Doc.
I gotta prove my word.
I swear to God, I will follow you into death.
I gotta do this for the future.
I don't know what he's achieving right now. I don't know what the purpose of this is.
I don't really know what that means, but it seemed important in my head.
Denise, thank you so much for the membership on YouTube, friend. Thank you. Is he trying to? I don't know what he's trying to see. So what exactly are you achieving right now?
I don't know. I just went and I turned off the light. Oh, it's ghost farting on me.
Ooh, you touched my There's hiding right here. Run, Doc, run! I'll slow it down.
Oh, nice. It's like rumble strips.
Like Home Alone. Jerkhole. We're fine. It's nowhere close. We're good. We're Gucci. If we are sure that you did not turn that light on, I did not turn that light on, then that we must have a Pulte. And we can't double check it because of UV. It's professional, but we removed 5 items from our inventory.
The ghost is, that would be kind of awesome.
What'd you say?
Just saying. I said if you could go ahead and figure out what the ghost.
Well, I thought we were almost set that it was a poultry.
Wait, why did I even go back in there then?
That's what I asked you.
There was a light in the.
I don't like that that's how the hype train started.
Okay, we know it's a poltergeist. Let's get it.
Lord Noodles, thank you for the 5 months. What the hell? Watch us be wrong. I remember you did something to the light. You went out, but not sure you turned it on. Oh, don't say that. I flipped the switch, but didn't I flip it off? Is it? Gosh dang it. Here, I'll give you some light. There you go. That'll protect us.
Right there. Yep. It's just gonna trip.
Here we go. Make this
Are you
beat.
trying to get down underneath? Okay, that does not look right. Oh,
It's fine.
okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Hold on.
No, that is not fine. That is not fine.
Oh, gosh dang it. This floor is so unstable. Oh, come on.
Is it because it's on the seam? Hold on. Let me
Get it
back
off
it up a
the
little bit.
get it off the crease.
There we go.
Hit. I give up.
Oh!
We're just staring at your lit crotch. It's fine. Demon, thank you for the follow.
It's still locked.
What did they do next? Oh, it's not locked anymore. Not locked. Dude, what? What are you doing? Get out of there.
Okay, I'm out. Nice work.
Yeah. I'm pretty convinced that it's a Pulte, even though it just doesn't seem like it's throwing a lot. I think the reason for that is there's not a lot for it to throw when it gets out of there.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
And we can't check for UV.
Yeah, plus I turned off the light.
Wait,
So that
well,
helps.
it would have turned off the light anyway when the hunt ended. It'd be nice if we're sitting here like this and it just kicks the light on, because then it's a guarantee.
Yes. But I'm pretty certain I did not turn off that light.
I don't think I flipped the switch once, but I'm almost 100% that I turned it back off.
Ah,
I know.
So if something goes wrong,
No, there's no derp-a-derp-a-doos. Nope, those don't exist.
Okay, all right.
They're not real.
All right, no derp-a-doos.
No derp-a-doo. Now, it would be nice
poltergeist.
if we saw something on the board that looked like EMF 5. That could be a Pulte doing its Pulte things. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think the odds of us seeing that are
like a 7 and a 4.
I see a 7 and a 9er and a sorry, was there a 9er in there?
Yeah.
You reading a
Niner.
walkie-talkie? All right. I think we just go for it.
All right.
We got this. EMF 10 perhaps? Maybe. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what that means.
All right. Yeah. It's a 6 item
It's a
run.
6er.
We got ourselves a 6er.
Woo!
Not every day you get a 6er. Here we are. Well,
Oh,
actually,
boy.
I mean, I guess technically we do get it every day since it's the first time we've done this. But all right. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Hit us.
Here we go. Raven! Do the thing!
Please be good items. Please be good items. Please be good items. You know what I mean? Bad item. What? Why are you cursing? Can't be that bad.
Smudge sticks.
What is it?
Smudge sticks are gone. Smudges. On the first draw, no smudges.
Damn it. Immediately.
Appreciate it. Raven! Do the second thing!
That's the first one.
Okay, we're completely.
What is it?
We can't use a tripod.
Oh, fuck!
We can't do it. All right.
Tripods are gone. Roger that.
Yep.
Next.
Tripod. No smudges, no tripod. Do the third thing. Raven.
Not the tripods.
No EMF.
Oh, crap. All right.
Raven. Do the fourth thing.
Ray-Ban, be better.
No parabolic.
Okay. It could be worse. That's fine.
Raven. Do the fifth thing.
That's not even the last one. We have 6. We have 6 things.
No spirit box.
All right.
Raven! What are we even on? 6?
This is number 6.
This is the last one, right?
This is the last one.
Raven! Do the 6th thing! No photo camera.
Oh, okay.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not. We have flashlights, so I'm okay, I guess.
Yeah,
all right.
Flashlights are great. All
Let
right,
me run this down
no
for you real
smudge.
fast. I was doing it as
Okay.
we were going, so I didn't lose it.
Oh, okay.
No
All right.
EMFs, spirit box,
Correct.
incense,
Correct.
parabolic,
Correct.
photo camera,
Correct.
tripod.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, well, they're all removed, sir. As much as we can, anyway.
Nice.
All right. We get Sunny Meadows. I'm blaming Ray-Ban.
Okay, Ray-Ban. There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Could be worse.
All
Wait,
right. Shut up.
Shut up.
I'm a little frazzled at this point. This is a lot on my brain. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Case 921, Jessica Smith. Get an average on a top below 25%. A member of your team escaped the ghost during a hunt and repelled the ghost with incenses while was chasing someone.
Easy peasy.
Let me see. Disciple, I think you put that message in there.
All right.
I'll,
Flashlight.
do this.
Your monitor.
My what? All right. Tis pinned. Tis pinned. All right. Flashlights.
right.
I'm going to bring in UV and I'm going to bring in... I'm also going to bring in your thermometer.
All right.
I like it. Let's go. That's a fun voice filter. It's pretty fun. T, thank you for the follow. Ah, almost forgot.
Yeah.
Bad luck would have been upon you.
Well, we don't want anything upon me. You know what I mean.
Okay. Did I already hear, or was that him? I think it was him. Power's on, sir.
Oh, you got the power there.
Yes, sir. Oh, no, thank you, Disciple. It was helpful to, so that I could copy
Oh.
the message.
Oh no.
Oh, it pooped in the sink. What do we do?
Put dots in the room, of course.
And I'll inspect the room for goo. I don't,
All right.
Oh God.
Good luck with that.
Ugh. What's that smell?
Can you smell that smell?
Yes, it's disappointment.
The stink of disappointment is upon you.
Why did you start off sounding like Professor Snape?
I don't know. I got that Snape vibe.
Blueprint number 394. I can't take a
Like
picture.
from Die Hard. Now I have a machine gun.
Oh, stop it, Ron. All right, I'm gonna bring a video camera. I'm gonna bring. Oh, what is our objectives? 25, escape, repel. Okay, well, we can't do the repel. That's out of the question. We can't do that. I use OBS. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just not possible. Ooh, that's schmale. How's it going?
Hey, not too bad. Not too bad. I got a book in there. It's got something to read while it's
Okay.
dropping its deuce.
Well, it's dropping
Yeah.
the deuce. Okay, roger that. I'm gonna go videotape it.
That's a little weird, but go on.
Hey, I don't yuck your yum there, bud.
Wait, say that again, bud. All I heard was the rabbit.
I don't yuck your yum there, bud.
Thank you for not yucking my yum there.
Dusty's Trail? Yeah, we can do some. We haven't done Dusty's Trail today. Is it still in there? Uh-oh. It is not that cold. What? Is it going across the hall?
Identity update. Average 77. FlashForce 72. Documentary 81.
Thank you.
No problem.
We have orbs there, bud.
Roger that.
I can't record them because they keep disappearing into the wall. Got it. We'll do there. All right. I need to start moving some shite. Gotta move some shite. That in there, but that in there. Yeah, it moved across the hall. It's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
If only there was a way.
Goo check. No goo. No goo.
If only there was a way to make it so you could also hear, like, legitimately hear the Ray-Ban announcements as
That would be
streams going.
cool. I know the only way you'd be able to do that would be if you were to find a way to have it go through your microphone. That'd be the only way. And then you'd have to be
Or-
open mic.
if it was like soundboarded in freaking Discord or some noise like that.
Right.
Like
Well,
a
then we'd have to be in
could do
Discord.
something.
Then you wouldn't be able to be inside of the
Yeah.
inside of the.
No, that's not fun.
I know
That's
what you
not
mean, though. That'd be really cool. Like, oh
I know
man.
how you feel about your prox chat, Flash. I know.
Well, no, but
I know.
imagine you just like you're giving me ideas. Like, imagine if there's a challenge where like you're running through the map, and then all of a sudden there's this announcement that's like stop where you are, and then it tells you to do something, and it tells everybody something to do at the same time.
That would be freaking awesome.
That'd be
That'd
cool.
be great.
Oh, if we fail, yeah, then we go back to one.
I mean, I guess the only way you could do that is with like a shared chat, shared command. So like everyone had the same command with the same effect.
Right. Or if it's
And then if
timed
someone
and it
typed it-
randomly happens. Go get him, Rhonda. Doc, run! Doc, run! Okay, he's really far away from her. He should be okay. He should be okay. I'm gonna go check and see what our sanity is. Oh my god. Of course she would event all the way away from her room and then she would just start hunting. Gosh dang it. Okay. Any more videos from the floor above? I have another one I need to post. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're definitely within hunting threshold. Okay. She's just a wiener, and she hunted from all the way over there. Are you okay? Wait, it might still be hunting. Hold on. All Phasma players to be in Discord chat, muted in Discord, and there's an extra person who isn't muted who's talking with all the players. Ooh, that's true. You okay, big guy? You okay there, bud? You're right there, bud?
Yes. Physically, yes.
Mentally.
Psychologically, not so much.
All right. So we know we have orbs. That's it so far, right?
That's it so far. We know it's probably not a Revenant.
Did it sound normal? Oh, it was really close, dude. Did it sound normal speed? I'm good, Data. How are you?
It seemed pretty normal speedish to me.
Okay. Could get in there and get it to hunt again. I mean, it hunted away from the crucifix because it evented on us. So,
yeah.
Yeah, we might walk in and get the cruci again. So let's see. Going in. We're playing on professional, so we get 3. But the issue is that we are playing a challenge right now that is being deemed by Mr. Doc the not challenge, where every round we have to ban an item so we cannot use it. Hey, Pickles. I haven't had a chance to get to the stuff, friend. Just FYI. I see Ghosty over there.
It is not doing the freezing.
Okay. That's a non-eaten crucifix, correct? Oh, well, that one's eaten. What are the two we're missing? EMF and Spirit Box? Is that right? That one, girl, hello.
We are missing no smudge, no tripod, no EMF, no parabolics, no spirit box, no photo camera.
That breaker needs some goo on it. My God. I'd say no to the UV.
Okay.
It has not done writing, but it has not touched the book, which is unfortunato.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Official Odyssey? I'm good. How are you?
I don't know. Is it cursed object?
Doc. Did you? I think it's normal speed. I think. Hey, Pickle Rick. Came here from the hilarious Facebook shorts. What up, dude? Welcome in. This ghost is a wiener.
So is it cursed object time? Is it not cursed object time?
That's the first thing I said. I was like, did you guys hear his voice? Okay. So, probably not a Revi or a Thay. Not a Raiju. Not a Dian. So, Mare, Onryo, Yokai, Yurei?
Not Obake, not Onryo, not Raiju.
Yummy.
Not a Dayan, not a Banshee, not a
Wait. Hey, we didn't turn this light on in this room, right? I did not.
I don't think I did. No.
I don't think I did either. So probably not a
All
Mare.
right, so I've got. All right, so I've got.
Chills.
Left Hantu, Yokai, Yuri.
Okay. I'm moving this crucifix near us for a little bit of safety. Okay. Temps are about 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. Are you thirsty? Do you need a drink?
Hi. Hold on. Can you just go into the office for a second?
Oh. And now we go rest the stream. Thank you, Juju.
Yeah, just don't look for a second and.
Oh, okay. I'll just look this way. I'll look this way. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Woo. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yep. Pinch it off.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Remember, you shake it more than twice. You're playing with it. Oh.
Oh God.
What's the challenge about? Is it just taking one item off at a time every time we discover? Every time we complete a game by getting the ghost correct and getting all the objectives that we
So here's the
can,
thing.
we
If it's
remove
a
another
yokai,
item.
We need to test its stupidity, right?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
All right. Well, in a manner of speaking, we do that when we don't have any smudges.
From a distance?
From a distance.
Yeah, Onryo Yokai Yurei. So yeah, we're gonna have to get some lanterns, I think. I think we'll have to get some lanterns. When he's on a yokai, and listen to Doc scream a lot before hunting immediately after its event. Ah, man, it waited to hunt until like we're not seeing dots. Which if we're not seeing dots, then it would have to be an Onryo. I listened to Doc make noise in Phaz. He would never. Is it done? Okay. I'm going to get lanterns, Doc.
Roger that.
Didn't the power box door not close all the way? Can we count the Yurei ability on the power box door? Which, if that's the case, then Yurei would be out of the question anyway. Right now, we're sort of thinking Onryo because we're not getting dots. If we're not getting dots, then we need freezing and spirit box. But we're also not getting freezing. So we're being duped by something. Something is la-duping us. All right. Something is playing a trickery on us, Doc.
Trickery?
Yeah, maybe. It might be 50-year freezing. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you
We're
think
not-
it might be treatery rather than trickery?
Treatery.
Treatery.
Like you get a treat?
Just, yeah, hoping.
Oh, treat. Mimicry? If it's mimicry, we're getting really
I didn't get
fooled.
the escape. I thought I got the escape, but I guess I didn't.
Oh, do we not have that yet? Have memory
No.
to escape the ghost during the hunt. Oh, I guess it didn't get line of sight. Which is crazy because it was literally on you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But anyway.
Oh, shit balls. I have to wait this one out. It turned the power off.
Turn the power off?
It did. Uh-oh. Doc, I'm scared.
I'm not filled with confidence right now. I am not. Okay, I'm gonna line of sight this sucker.
Okay. You have no defenses, Doc.
My defenses are my wit, my skill.
Did you say your width or wit?
No, my wit, my intent, my wit.
It's an Onryo, Doc.
Run!
No, we have objectives. Ow!
All right, I'm going to give it line of sight, and then I'm going to use my wit and my athleticism.
But wait, how did it eat this? Was it over there when it ate it?
I don't know.
It did blow out the same firelight twice. Yeah, it just did.
Doing?
Just hanging out, bro. What are you doing?
Oh. Hey,
Just
bro.
hanging, bro.
What you doing, bro?
Here, have this ashtray.
Useful. Thank you.
You're welcome. In this cup. Oh, shh. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's like in the hiding spot, isn't it?
It sure is. Oh, there's no more. There's no more stuff to be had. Yeah. So fits an on Rio, spirit box, orbs, and freezing. You're telling me we were missing, Doc? You're telling me?
I'm seeing my breath out here in the hallway. Is that bad?
Maybe.
It just turned on the light next to me. Is that bad?
Did it turn it on, or was it on and then we flipped the power on?
Oh, maybe it's because you flipped the power on there.
Hey, it's freezing.
Let's follow the path of duty.
Did you turn on Dusty's trail?
Of course I did.
Okay. Wait, why are you outside?
I'm just washing the windows.
Let me out.
Oh, the going gets mighty rough and they don't seem to mind.
Let me out of here. The rocks are in the door. In my way.
I tried to escape.
Push my head. Okay.
Oh, man. See, you're fine. I don't know what you're all stressed about. Hey, we still have to escape the ghost.
I mean, the whole death thing.
Death thing. It's so overrated. All right.
All right.
Yeah, we still need to escape it. So I guess I'm going to run in there and just hope, pray, and
All right.
try not to dismay. What do you
Are
say?
you gonna leave a trail of salt behind you?
I
to
was
slow
bringing
down?
it just to slow her down a little bit. Yeah.
All right, I'm bringing one too.
We got this. Death is a natural part of life. All right. I'm going to try to get in here and get lights on. This is like my portable crucifix.
Go ahead. Dusty's trail.
Dusty's trail. She's over here somewhere. Where is she? Oh boy. Oh boy. You know, that is a good point though. If I keep this here, that's my protection. No, I can't use UV to confirm if we don't have UV. Like, I literally cannot use a UV, so I can't confirm with UV about the UV. You ready to run?
Oh yeah, always.
I put some salt down for you. Hey, Sebastian. All right. It's gonna be unfortunate. It's gonna walk through all this salt right now.
I've got 2 salts left. We're gonna be fine.
Save him. Ew, what was that? Was that an egg? What's that sound?
I don't know.
I heard a squeak.
I'm nervous.
I'm Flash.
Yeah, I knew something like that was coming.
Shadow, think of the follow. Salty, welcome in. Really, hello.
Show thyself. Oh, crap!
It's an event. It's an event. It's an event.
It was instantaneous.
It's okay. It's okay.
I wasn't ready.
It's okay. Oh, Doc.
It's an event. Wait, no, it's not. I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yes, it was. It was. The outside door stayed
Okay.
open.
Chat asks me if I'm the bait. Am I actually the bait right now?
No, why? I don't know why you're making yourself the bait. Oh, do we have UV? Wait. Wait, were we not supposed to be using UV? Because if we were not, nobody said anything. Oh, no, we can check for UV. Oh, you're right. Sorry, I'm confusing the rounds. Yo, yeah, my bad. Yeah, my bad. You're right. I was checking the breaker. Touche, salesman, touche. Stony, thank you for the 3 months. Yeah, totally forgot that I used it on the breaker. My bad. My bad. Which we did not see. Oh, that's, I crossed it out already. Yeah, I crossed it out. She's about to come around, Doc. You ready?
I can't hear it. Are you at? Oh, motherfucker!
Doc, oh no. Doc, why? Oh no. Oh, he's a permanent fixture now. What happened? Did it break the lights in here? Oh, what a piece of shit. No, Doc. Why? Would you F off? Yeah, get over here. Leave me alone, you bully. Where did she hunt from? In here, right? What is the cursed? I don't know. She's back there. Let's go this way. Jack killed him with music. Wow, way to go, you bunch of jerks. Order up. This way I know when it's hunting. Yeah, he said he couldn't hear. That's what they're saying. Okay, it's blowing out firelights in the back. All we need is for this ghost to get line of sight of me, and then we leave. I hear shit. Saw me. Yahtzee. Avenged! I have no idea what the cursed object was. Maybe we have the paw to bring him back? Wait, where's the paw? Well, if it's Frank, I mean, that's useless. If it's Frank, there's nothing I can do about that. Ads are going to start. I can stop them. Did we see the paw in our travels? Did we see the paw? When I was flooring it by there? Didn't? I didn't see, but I didn't look. Well, that's useful. Golden fish, thank you for the 20 months. Listen, we just need one of us to survive. If I wish him alive and then he can't see because it's dark and he has nothing on him, and then he gets lost and dies, then we lose. You know what I mean? Doc, I need you. He can check. We know that we don't have tarot. So what he can do is he can go check the kitchen while being dead. Look at Oops. Doc, are you here? Doc, meet me out by the police car with an item. Yeah, but we don't have to. Why would he need to check for all of them? He just needs to look at the 2 spots. If either of those 2 are not there, then it doesn't matter. Hey, Bucko. Hey, big guy. You doing good? Hey, do me a favor. Can you go check in the kitchen for the monkey paw and then report back, and we'll ask questions if you see it or not. Or do you already know? Throw the pamphlet on the ground if you already know. You don't know. Okay, so in the kitchen, when you walk into the kitchen, next to the butcher knife in the middle island thingy, you'll see if there's a monkey paw there. All right, so go check and then let me know. Because if it's there, I can wish him alive. We could both possibly walk out of this one. I'd be willing to risk it for the biscuit. What's up, Internet? How are you? All right, so he's going to report back whether he sees the monkey paw or not. Oh, wait, was that your little pamphlet, Doc? What was that you? Oh, it is. Okay. All right. If you saw the monkey paw, throw your pamphlet on the police car. If you did not, throw it on the ground. Oh, why'd you throw it all the way over there? That's not helpful. Okay. All right, so no monkey paw. Okay, I was gonna bring you back to life, but since it's being mean, we can't do that. This is for you, Doc. The seven honk salute. There we go. That was for Doc. That was for Doc. He's such a good soldier. Okay. On Rio. Let's get out. We miss him so. You're sick? Oh, I'm sorry you're sick, man. Ghost, it's gotta be an Onryo. Blew out the same firelight twice within 20 seconds.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
Well,
we respected your death, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that. 7 honk salute. Well, FlashForce.
We did good, kid. We did good.
Yeah, I'd say so. Are you going for a bit or are you...
I'm probably going to be ending soon as well, sir. Yeah, it is past 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roger that. Roger that. Well, I would like to do this again sometime. This was
yes,
super
please.
fun.
I think we could even think of ways to spice it up.
Oh, make it spicy.
I like spicy.
Make it spicy.
Spicy.
I like spicy too. Well, FlashForce, you're an absolute legend. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
you so much.
I appreciate you, Mr.
for
Doc.
allowing me to invade your games.
We do it every time. It's, it's expected.
Yeah.
6 items banned.
Loads
we
of
made it.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to, like I always do, provide you with a little bit of
a little knowledge?
advice.
Okay.
Yeah, a little knowledge.
Okay.
When you go up to an electric fence,
You guys got that? Everybody understand? When you go up to an electric fence. No. There was nothing else provided. He just said when you go up to an electric fence. All right, I'm going to go ahead and run ads though. We do 3 minutes of ads every hour. I'm going to go ahead and run them now so that you guys don't miss as we're like, getting close to ending, okay? So 3 minutes, friends. I will BRB. What a shocking revelation. Okay. All right. Oh God. No, come back. There we go. All right. Let me make sure that nothing's going to happen. Nobody comes in. There we go. That stops that. Groovy. Groovy. Oh, I was going to send the noti and I totally didn't. Oh, well. Life happens. That was fun. That was good. I think that we could try to come up with some ways to spice it up even more. I do really like the idea of doing like a in the moment, you don't know what's going to happen. Then all of a sudden you hear a voice telling you that you have to do certain things. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know what we would do to arrange that. I don't know what that would involve, but I feel like that could be a pretty cool thing. So I don't know. We'll talk about it. Again, it just makes me feel like one of those like old board games. Have fun with the rest of this. Oh, thank you, gamer. It won't be going too much longer. Yeah. I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and end it on the tubes and the keeks. So that way we can go find someone to raid after. But I appreciate you, friends. Okay. Came in late. How'd you guys decide which items? So on Doc's side, he had he had recorded a voice line for all of the items. So he recorded a voice line for every item. And then what happened was he randomized it to be whatever. I appreciate the streams this weekend. A great time, Divine. I appreciate you, friend. I'm glad I was able to stream. I'm glad that Saturday was open so that I could hang out somewhere. It was fun. 'Twas fun. So yeah, it was good. It was good. I already have ideas of what I want to do to like, if I make the video. Oh man, that's gonna be a long video. Jesus Christ. If I do all 6 rounds, or yeah, I guess it would be all 6 rounds. Holy moly. I mean, I guess I could. No, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Yeah, it's been good. The fam was gone Friday night going into Saturday. Then they came back last night and they were here today. So yeah, hanging out with the fam today. Thank you, Macy. All done? Yeah, we're at the tail. Yeah, I just didn't want to have ads happening when we were getting ready to try to raid out. So I figured we'd wait. Thank you for the clip. Oh, I could probably unpin this too. Beat you. Ah, thank you. I was like, where did it go? Oh, okay, there it goes. Thank you. Thank you for being the entertainment this afternoon while packing. Ooh, I hope the packing's been good. Thank you, Zappini. Thank you, Phoenix. Here, we'll go over here. We'll go over Chol. Oh no, thank you, Disciple. I do appreciate it. Keeping track through text of what items were missing was helpful. I appreciate it. Thank you. Or what items we had to ban so that way I could pin it. That was helpful. It's been okay. I'm enjoying throwing stuff out. I have no problem throwing things away. As somebody that is a retro junkie that likes to collect that kind of stuff, I have zero problems throwing things away. None whatsoever. Recover from a migraine. I hope you feel better. One of my kiddos unfortunately has the migraines as well, and luckily though it wasn't too bad. But yeah, he was feeling a headache earlier too. But his can also turn into migraines. The move is therapeutic. It's nice. It is. Explain to my son how chat works and why we can't spam or expect to be read every time. We live in different times. It's okay. It happens. The retro room is coming along great. I will do my best to take some like update photos and post them as we go. What I did was on that rack, if you've seen it, on the left rack where I have all my consoles, I lifted the top couple racks a little higher, and I put, for now, I had a leftover monitor that I used to use. I put a monitor there that I could use for my Xbox 360. Unfortunately, the disc tray does not, like the disc tray works, but it doesn't spin. It doesn't read the games. So the only thing I can really play on there would be stuff I have saved to my hard drive, which by the way, I opened up Minecraft on my old Xbox 360 and open up one of my old worlds where I built stuff. I wish I could see the date of when it was saved. But yeah, my goal is to put a TV there, like just a cheapy TV that I can use for anything that's in 16:9 rather than a 4:3 ratio, and connect it all to that TV. Oh, but I have my POG binders in there. Man, hold on. What is the name of this thing? I totally forgot. Let me think. I'm trying to remember what it's called, and I can't remember what it's called. Let me think. Of course, Papedo. Thank you, friend. Oh, it was called Brain Warp. Does anybody know what that is? Do you know what Brain Warp is? Does that sound familiar in any way? Thing that I was working on to be on hold, sadly. Hope to have by the end of the year. Oh, no worries, Blondie. No worries at all. No. You're good, friend. All's well. Hey, Miss Barry. How are you? Yeah, there's this really cool, like, it gives you Bop It vibes where it's got, hold on. Yeah, you ever seen this before? Does this look familiar in any way? So this is it's a game from the 90s. And what you do is it's like a Bop It Simon Says kind of feel, where I don't know how many different types of games there are, but one of the main things was like you basically start like this, and then it tells, I think it's color or number or whatever. If you do the color one, then it tells you what color needs to basically be facing up towards you like this. So you start on this. If it says green, then you have to quickly turn it before it gets to the next sound or you fail. And then it gets faster and faster and faster as you go. Yeah. Definitely one of the things that I had from my childhood. Memory unlocked. Yeah. Yeah. Super cool. Still got Simon Says from the 80s. Holy hell. Simon Says is a good one too. But yeah, it's going well, man. It's looking good. All the shelves are looking really good. I was just trying to keep everything nice, and I want it to be neat, but at the same time, I don't mind it looking a little bit crazy with there being so much crap in there because it's all useful to me. That's why I love it. So I'll get some update photos here soon. All right, let's see here. Oh, there we go. That's really funny. The person I'm about to raid, the first message I see in their chat, I heard from FlashForce that you're really good at APOC, so I came to watch. Well, let's go raid, shall we? Shall we? We got a homie who is doing some runs right now. Literally the first message I see in their chat. Let's go. So we're going to go say hi to Leona, friends. If you guys don't know Leona is awesome. Super freaking cool. She's a great Phas creator. Does lots of hard difficulty runs. But she's super cool. She's super entertaining. Lots of fun to watch. If you've never seen her, you will love. You will love. She is great. So raid messages. If you're a follower, that's for you. If you're a sub, that's for you. Creepy tier 3, that is for you. Let us go say hi, hello, and give all the love. I appreciate you guys. If you're not in my Discord, following the socials, not a part of the Patreon, all that things in chat. But love you guys. Thank you guys so much for an amazing stream. Per the usual, I will see you tomorrow for the weekly. And then I don't know what's happening after the weekly. Much love. Bye.